All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? We're back. We are back for, I don't know what day, day 16. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. You can take us with you wherever you go with that app. It's an amazing thing, these phones. No more cords.
You know what happens?
No more wires.
Let me tell you what happens. By the way, I might go old school and I might go with a cord and a wire again. I'm hearing the AirPods, not the healthiest thing in the world.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Everything's bad for you.
By the way, I think everything is bad for you.
Oh, you had an apple? Did you hear about the apples? What about the apples? Why is everything bad for you? Oh, plastics, they're going to kill you.
Relax here. There's a difference between apples and AirPods.
Well, they're made by Apple.
I know. Yeah, technically, yes. I don't know. That's just what I've heard. That's just what I've heard. Wait, where was I going? Damn it.
Something about non-cordless phones, whatever that's called, a phone. Like on a wall.
This way you're saying, no, you were talking about the app, iHeartRadio app.
Yeah.
How many times are you like listening to something that you like, and then you say to yourself, okay, now I'm going to the grocery store. I'm getting out of my car.
All the time.
Listen on the damn app. You just keep going.
I'll be honest with you, Alan.
Yeah.
The only way I listen is on this app, and I obsessively listen on the app. I love the app.
That's it.
And I'll use it in my car. I plug it into my car, and as opposed to using AM radio, I will use the app. I find myself doing that often because I was already listening. So I just bring it with me.
Do I want to admit something here?
Yeah, do it.
No, I'm good.
Like, I don't have the app. I don't have the phone.
Not that. Here's what I want.
I've never heard the station. What station are we on?
Here's what I was going to admit. I just said that the AirPods aren't great for you. Well, recently I lost my AirPods.
That is the worst.
It is the worst, and I think I'm losing it. I think I'm officially losing it. I lost my car key recently as well.
You have been losing some things.
Some things have been recovered.
Right.
But some things I've lost.
Okay.
So you know what I've become because I haven't bought AirPods yet? What if I'm the guy that's listening to something with the volume up?
No. Where? No, don't be that guy in the grocery store buying apples and you're just like, you hear this loud sound from someone's cart.
Let me tell you, you can tell me if this is the one exception to the rule. The only time I listen to it with the volume up is at church. No, the only time I listen to it with the volume up is when I go for a walk.
That's fine. Outside, presumably.
I'm outside.
Not inside.
No, I'm outside. I'm rarely crossing paths. If I do cross paths, what is somebody really going to hear over the just 2 seconds? Yeah, like that's the only time. I don't do it in a grocery store. Definitely don't do it, You don't
do it on an airplane, do you? That's why they have those exit doors.
No.
If someone has the volume up.
Wherever there's close proximity to other people, I don't do it. Like the gym. If I'm at the gym, I'm not doing it.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm not.
Imagine if you were.
There was a guy.
Why not just buy AirPods?
I need to buy AirPods, but I just lost them the last week or so. So now I'm like negotiating with Apple. I went online.
Get cheap ones. Don't even go Apple.
And I just said, hey, what do we think here? You guys are charging $199. I got $160.
I got $80. Take it or leave it.
Take it. I have the case. I just don't have the actual.
I just need the little
that's
AirPods.
All I need. That's all I need. All right. That's all I got. Now we get the show started.
I want to get to the Padres. Kyle Newman covers the Rockies for the Denver Post. He'll join us at 4:30. We'll get into Rockets-Lakers game 2 as well coming up at 5:30. Kobe Price covers the Lakers for the California Post, a subsidiary, I guess, of the New York Post. He'll join us coming up at 5:30. Do you know, and don't look at the rundown.
Okay.
Maybe you've seen it.
No, I
just put it in. Do you know the Padres' all-time record at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado? Actually, just in Denver, Colorado, because they used to play at Mile High.
You just want a winning percentage?
Actually, no. I'm looking for their all-time record, but winning percentage would be better,
I think winning percentage might give me a better shot.
It would. Yeah. You want to do that?
Yeah, random guess here. I'll say they've won 60% of the time.
60% of the time, the Padres have beaten the Rockies in Denver.
That makes me think that number is way too high.
Based on my reaction.
Yeah.
What if I told you 43% of the time?
Okay.
It has actually been, now the Padres, again, historically haven't exactly been the preeminent franchise of the last 30 years.
Right.
But they've been better over the last 10, obviously. Mm-hmm. But it does speak to the point that you've heard people make before about both Chase Field in Arizona and Coors Field in Denver, which is it can be a house of horrors. The Padres are 117 and 153 in that building. Now, they went 10-3 overall last year against the Rockies. I don't know what the record was home and road. They were 4-0 last week against the Rockies at Petco Park. But again, this is one of those buildings. Look at the Dodgers this past week. They go 2-2. lost back-to-back games. One of those buildings where you can kind of throw out the records. I know it's cliche as the Padres get ready for Colorado.
Well, you're just coming off a week ago where the Padres take 4 in a row against the Colorado Rockies. And I think there is you're right. You probably got to throw it away. It's weird watching this because I think there's some guys that you're hoping for that their bats start going.
Yep.
Some guys that you hope can build some confidence by playing in Colorado and then following that up with in obviously in Mexico City. Some players that you feel like by the time you and I come back next Monday, we're talking about got their first couple of home runs
you're right.
of the season. But then you look on the other end, you have a pitching staff that, listen, I'm worried about the pitching staff. And most of it has to do with just Nick Pivetta leaving, Joe Musgrove not there. You and I were looking at this. The last start, Randy Vasquez has a start tonight. The last start for Randy Vasquez might have been the most exciting comeback that the Padres have had or the most exciting win that the Padres had this year. And that's coming off a walk-off grand slam and a walk-off 3-run homer by Gavin Sheets. Vasquez pitched in the game where he gave up 4 in 4 innings. They were down 6-0 to Seattle, came back and won that game 7-6.
Right.
But to go back what you were saying in Colorado, I don't know how much to take from it, even if the bats go crazy and other guys step up. And I don't know how much to take of it if the arms that you have struggle in Colorado as well.
You heard I will call it a dumb take from yesterday, but I'll kind of stand by it. This whole idea that you're going to Mexico City and Denver. And you know what? I'll take 3-2 over 4-1 if I see Fernando Tatis Jr. do the things that we want to see him do. I mean, you're 22 games into the season. That's over 1/8 of the season. Still, there's 140 games left, but you're over 1/8 of the season gone, and he hasn't hit a home run. So I've reached the point where it's like, if you don't do it in Denver and or Mexico City, when are you going to do it? Manny Machado, is he hitting 200 right now? I don't know if he is. I think he might be hitting under 200. Jackson Merrill, you look at his on-base plus slugging, he has struggled mightily by and large this year. So I'm ready to see the bats get going. Even if they happen. Yeah, Cronenworth is a great example. Mm-hmm. If they lose a game 9-8, I'm sure I won't be thrilled about it, but I'd like to see their bats get going, is my overall point.
Well, part of the reason why the Padres have got off to such a good start is because if you'd have told me last season the names that you just mentioned were struggling, they ain't starting 14-3, and God knows what that record is.
Right.
The fact that you've had Ramon Laureano, the fact that you've had this kind of combination, Luis Campusano having a nice start, Gavin Sheets playing well, Xander Bogaerts already getting some RBIs and having some key hits. I think it's actually I think it's a very positive trait for the Padres that they haven't needed the main guys to really get going, and they still got the second or third best record in Major League Baseball. So maybe Colorado or Mexico City can get these guys back on track. But nonetheless, even sitting where they're sitting, I don't think you can ask anything more from a record perspective, but now you need individual players to start backing up what that record is.
Can I ask you this? Are you more concerned about Mason Miller's scoreless streak because of these venues? Like, does it make him more susceptible because it's 7,000 feet in Mexico and it's 5,500 feet in Denver? Or not really? Because he has almost been unhittable. He's allowed 2 singles. Has it really changed the equation for Mason Miller these next 5 games that the Padres are playing?
Well, this guy's been so dirty
that it almost doesn't matter, knock on wood.
Well, let me, if he went through it and it didn't affect him, are you surprised?
Not at all.
I think that's my answer then.
Will you be mad though if it ends in Mexico City?
No,
not angry, not throwing things.
It sucks because that's not a proper. That's not your regular ballpark, obviously in the States here, but that's okay. It comes with it. I love that the Padres are playing in Mexico City. It's worth whatever risk comes with it for Mason Miller. It's all good. Mason Miller, I mentioned this to you. You haven't got it yet this year, have you? Have you gone to a game yet this year?
San Diego Padres?
Yeah.
Baseball team?
No.
No, but I've been downtown for 2 of their games, but I haven't been inside.
Here's one reason why I'm asking the question.
Yep.
The Mason Miller experience.
Oh yeah, the
which I only got it once. Got it once.
Yeah.
But the Mason Miller experience, I tried going to get it again on last Friday, but they were down 8-0, so they didn't bring Mason Miller in and didn't play his music.
I don't
in
think
Anaheim.
they would have done the music in Anaheim.
Well,
right?
They should have. That's all I'm saying. That because when he came out on, I could have put it on my phone and just listened to it while he's running out.
It's
right?
smart.
Without
so
that,
heard.
without the AirPods. But that Mason Miller experience, that's real deal. He's been so good so far this season. I'm not too worried about whatever happens, over these next few games. We know Mason Miller's the most ridiculous pitcher in all of baseball.
Can I just mention this? Because the Mason Miller scoreless streak is such rarefied air. So sometimes when you set a Padres record, you're like, well, yeah, but that's not like close to a baseball record. Like the Padres all-time home run record is held by Manny Machado. And I don't even know how many homers he's hit in a Padres uniform, but obviously he's not 400 or 500, right? You have some of these franchises where players hit 400, 500, 600 home runs. Mason Miller is up to 32 and 2/3 innings scoreless right now. You're approaching not yet, but you're approaching that top 10-esque baseball history. You get this thing up to high 30s, 40 innings. I mean, we're not that far away. 6-7 innings further, and now it's complete rarefied air. I think the third longest scoreless streak in baseball history is Bob Gibson, and it's in the 40s. It's not like the 60s. It's not the 80s. It's in the 40s. So I hope he can get through this stretch. This guy's been unbelievable.
No, I know what you mean.
This guy's been
unbelievable. You don't want it to go out that way.
I don't. I really don't. But then again, there's a lot of things you know me. I'm very particular.
Still getting to know you.
Oh yeah, it's a good point. But I don't want it to end in Mexico City. But honestly, if it means Tatis hits 3 home runs in Mexico City, maybe we'll deal with it.
Yeah, it's worth the trade.
It would be
worth the trade off.
It would be worth Miller having a scoreless streak again.
All right, you went to a game a couple years ago in Mexico City.
Yeah, you want to go?
We can't, but at least I can't at the moment.
Okay.
Of the venues you've been to, how was that experience compared to some of the other ballparks?
That's such a good question. I think it's one of the coolest sporting events I've probably attended.
Really? Why is that?
It's just unique being at a Major League Baseball game outside of the country.
Yeah.
And the fandom and the ambiance and the ballpark I thought was pretty special. It would be I would love if San Diego State football played in Tijuana or San Diego State basketball played in London. I just think it's a unique experience where you go to Tokyo to play a game, or I don't know. There's something more unique about it. You go to America, you know what I mean? Crypto compared to Seattle, compared to Northern California, a
lot of similarities.
Arenas,
yeah.
It was just different.
The Smoothie King Center. Yeah, no,
in New Orleans.
I know.
Exactly. Yeah. It reminded me of the Smoothie King Center, actually, in New Orleans, the more I thought about it. All right. We are going to continue to talk about this series coming up that kicks off tonight for the Padres and the Rockies, and the start for Randy Vasquez. Plus, coming up at 4:30, Kyle Newman from the Denver Post will join the show to get us ready. And at 5:30, Kobe Price from the California Post getting us ready for Lakers and Rockets game 2 tonight. We're here until 6 p.m. This is San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, San Diego Sports 760 does have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. It is that bonus bucks contest. Listen every hour, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. Listen for the keyword. You just heard it, actually. Then enter it at sportssd.com. Next chance to win $1,000 coming up soon, right here on San Diego Sports 760. Schaefer and Sliwa. Kyle Newman, Denver posted 4:30. Kobe Price on the Lakers at 5:30.
I think those are mine.
No. These are mine.
Yeah, but where did you see them?
Apple.com/AirPods.
Yeah, but where were they? Because I could have easily left them in here and you could have scooped.
No.
Honestly, the more I'm getting to know you.
You think I took these?
No, I just think, there's some times I question there's a little shadiness going on.
Hold on. I'll show you in like my connected devices.
Just connected to my laptop.
I actually don't see it.
It's literally just connected.
Is it?
No.
Don't scare me, man.
I'll tell you this, John, he's not quite a germaphobe, but he's enough that he would never put someone else's like earbuds in his ears.
No, those I understand.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, who shares AirPods?
You and your wife?
Never.
Get out of here.
Never. I don't share glasses of water with her. No joke. No, I will if I have to.
Is this
by and large,
is this 345?
This is the What's New segment. We should do this. But we're learning things about each other. You drink water of your significant other? What kind of relationship is this?
What are you talking about? Of
what
course.
If she's sick?
Well, then I won't drink it that day, but I'm taking a chance. I'm risking it.
Wouldn't you rather just get your own glass?
Yeah, but you're making it like it's a big deal. Let's say you guys are together and you have a sparkling water. You're not going to take a sip of the sparkling water?
I will say this. I haven't told my 7-year-old this. I would never touch something he's drank. Because he's like putting his hands on the ground and like eating dirt.
I don't believe you.
No, I'm serious.
It's your kid. Who cares? It's your kid.
Okay,
I'm ready to eat out of the same dog bowl as with my dog. I'm like, what are you eating over there? What do you have over there?
Do you use clean water, so to speak, or tap water?
That's just funny the way you asked that. We have one of those Brita things where
here's what's funny.
Filter. Don't tell me
I only drink tap.
No, you don't.
I do for my whole life. Ask Kristen. We'll get her in here. I tried bringing in a Brita or like a filtered water. She freaked out. She's like, no.
So she drinks tap water too?
Right out of the sink.
Wow.
Our whole lives. It's like you got to live a little.
You guys are meant
to be together. I'd prefer the Brita, but she like yells at me. If I bring it in.
This might be because honestly, the best answer I have to this, I think it's because you're not from Cali.
Wait, if you're from California, you drink filtered water?
I think if you're from California, you're not typically opening up the tap water and saying, I'm good to go.
Because you think it's
But
dirty.
I feel like on the East Coast or in other parts of the country, that's much more common.
Interesting.
And your water is better.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Where do you check this? Like water.com/ like each city?
Yes, that's exactly
where you
website.
Go.
That's a new one. I wasn't expecting that from you. This guy won't share a AirPod, but he'll drink tap water. He'll go down the street and just grab a hose.
No, I wouldn't do that. I don't know why, but I wouldn't do that.
All right.
Do you know the Padres record this month? Because the season started in March, but you know the Padres record this month.
So they played 4 or 5 games in the month of March.
They played 5.
They played 5. So they only have.
They've played 17 this month, and they are 14-3.
Sheesh.
Which was their record to start last year.
That's right.
Now, they also started in March, but they were 14-3. If they were to play this well for the entire month, it would be the best month in franchise history by winning percentage. That's how well they're playing right now. I like the perspective of it because everyone's like, oh, 15-7, nice start. No, not nice start.
Yeah, I know.
Great start. When you win 2 out of every 3.
The sky was falling.
And you win 2 out of every 3, you just do the math on it. You're winning 100 games. They've never won more than 98. They've played really, really well.
How many series in a row have they won? 5? 5 series in a row.
Heading into this, is this a 3-gamer? Yeah, it is. So
and they lost the first one to the Red Sox. They lost the first one to the Angels.
Right.
Then won the rest. Series. Yeah, the rest they just dominated.
Yeah.
It just
speaks to their play. I mean, I think yesterday with Kevin, I don't know if we asked him, we wanted to ask him like, what's the sustainability level here? Because we know baseball. It's hard to play.
But where do you go?
Where do you go from here?
No, where did he go? He instantly went to what was his
rotation.
Concern? His rotation.
Yeah. And that's our concern.
Yeah.
And that's why you mentioned earlier, like Randy Vasquez, big start, not just for Randy Vasquez, but if you don't pitch well, the rest of your rotation no longer has Nick Pivetta. So it's a little softer than it was couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, listen, I think here's the beauty with Randy Vasquez. I think the fact that he had a start that wasn't great actually gives me confidence that he's going to come back and rebound.
Right.
Randy Vasquez needs some of this as well. He needs the start against Seattle. You know, I mentioned it today. We're prepping. I'm like, he gave up 4 runs in 4 innings. You're like, just a second there. He also, if it wasn't for Jackson Merrill robbing Julio Rodriguez of a 2-run homer, he probably gives up 6 runs. But if there's one player on the staff that I think can use some adversity, it's Randy Vasquez. If there's one player on the staff that you want to see kind of, all right, Vasquez, if you're going to be a player, a pitcher that a lot of people are going to depend on in San Diego, that a lot of people are talking about, that you know, kind of coming into the season, you had expectations for Nick Pivetta. You had expectations for Michael King. I don't think you had much expectations for Walker Buehler and Marquez. I think there's certain guys you're like, yeah, I know what I'm getting here. Other guys, it's like, it's a wild card. But there was a lot of positive momentum around Randy Vasquez. All right, the guy's going to have some battles. He's going to have some starts that he doesn't play well. He's going to have some innings where he struggles. How do you respond from that? So I'm excited to see Randy Vasquez tonight because he didn't have a good start against the Mariners.
That's right.
That is one of the few games from some of these starters where it's like, all right, he just didn't have his stuff. Michael King can get through games like that. I don't know if Randy Vasquez can yet. How does he rebound tonight coming off that his last performance against Seattle?
And again, it's not just the elevation for me. It's the size of Coors Field. You can get dinked and dunked at Coors Field. You could also allow 3 home runs, but you can get singled to death, actually doubled to death there. It's just such a vast outfield specifically at Coors Field in Denver. By the way, we should note we're inside 50 hours until the draft. We're at 49 hours and 34 minutes. We should have made mention of that.
My God, how many people just pulled over right now are just saying to themselves, like, I can't believe we got in that window.
We're inside 50 hours until the first round.
I can't think right now.
I know. It's very exciting. All right. On the other side, did Craig Counsell, Cubs manager, take a shot at Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers? And was it fair or unfair? We'll discuss that. On the other side, this is Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. The Padres are in Colorado to get ready for a series against the Rockies tonight. It's going to be Randy Vasquez going for the Friars and Jimmy Herget going again for Colorado. First pitch is going to be set for 5:40. In NFL news, Mike Tomlin has joined the NBC. The former Steelers head coach is joining NBC Sunday night pregame show Football Night in America. He is going to be a studio analyst. And we have some more game twos in the NBA playoffs tonight. At 4:00, we got 76ers Celtics. At 5:00, we got Wemby and the Spurs taking on the Blazers. And right here at 7:15 on San Diego Sports 760, you can hear Lakers Rockets game 2. Like I said, pregame starts at 7:15, and the tip will be a little after 7:30. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
All right, Schaefer and Sliwa here on San Diego Sports 760. You can listen to the Lakers tonight, you're telling me.
Yes.
You guys are both telling me.
Right here.
On 760.
Yep.
What'd you just say, Brent? Was that in your update that I only caught a moment of it?
Some things never change. 7:15.
7:15. I just wanted to confirm the pregame time.
Can I apologize to you here real quick?
Yeah.
Neither coast has universally healthier water.
You're looking at, is that confirmed?
I mean, it's AI.
Right.
It's an AI overview.
Oh, AI?
Yeah.
Like how Mason Miller's going to be traded to the Dodgers with Edwin Diaz out?
What you want to give like a quick synopsis here?
What do you want to? Well, what do you want to say about tap water?
All I want to say is I came at you and said, yeah, it doesn't happen in California. Well, apparently the water is generally healthy to drink out here. I'm finding this out for the first time in my life.
I'm 45. I'm older than you.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, I've been generally healthy and I could get hit by a bus or die tomorrow. I mean, things happen.
That's not going to have anything to do with the tap water, but yeah.
Sometimes tap water leads buses right to you. But like I'm saying, if I made it 45 with a decent bill of health when I go for the checkup, does that kind of proves the wrong word. But does that tell us that, whatever, you can drink tap water?
I feel more confident about your situation than I did 5 minutes ago. Because I really genuinely thought like, no, you can't do that.
Right.
Like I was about to come to your house and say, we're going to just boil some water and we're going to start bottling some of that water.
Don't scare me like
that.
And
we're going to keep it in the
Once I had a pH meter, like it told you like the healthiness of your water. It was like my water as opposed to purified water. It was like, I had like 800 higher numbers than like the purified number. Mine was like 800
here in Cali.
Oh yeah, where I live.
Then that's all. Then just don't drink that water anymore.
That
just get some filtered water.
Do you do it on the sink or would you do the one you fill it up in the thing? And
I hate
that thing.
I do it too. I do the fill it up in the thing. It's the most annoying thing.
Yeah, it takes twice the time.
The best thing is to just have the system hooked up to your sink, and that's all you do.
But I've never heard of anyone dying from water.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a good sponsor right there. We need like a purified water company.
Yeah.
Local business down here in San Diego. Reach out to us.
We have the business cards.
That's right. We do.
What's the email? Read that email. Read that email on air. Oh, what is happening?
Can't catch it.
Read that email.
All right, I'll get it in there.
Okay.
I can't right now. It's too small. The phone's too small.
So Shohei Ohtani will pitch and hit. Newsflash, right? He'll start a game.
And this was a story. This is with Craig Counsell.
Craig Counsell, right? He had some strong words to say. He didn't specifically mention Ohtani, but about the idea that you could start a game and then you could stay in the game as DH. This is what is typically referred to as the Ohtani rule. Placed in baseball in 2020 when he was with the Angels. Craig Counsell saying he doesn't appear to be a fan of the rule where two-way players aren't counted against the 13-pitcher roster limit. And then there's one team that's allowed to carry basically one of both, and then it gets special consideration, which is probably the most bizarre rule for one team. So he's actually not talking about the Ohtani rule. He's not talking about the Ohtani rule. He's talking about the pitcher limit rule. But Ohtani, because he bats as well,
he's the only player that
against.
Yeah.
So does he have a point?
Yeah. Listen, he clearly has a point. There are two ways to look at it. I want to try to find the middle ground Because if you're a Dodger fan, you're going to say, oh, you're coming at the Dodgers because they're winning and they're successful in this. Yeah, part of that is true. If you're a Padre fan or any other fan base, you're like, oh, they already have so many things that play to their advantage. Why do you give them this? Let me be objective.
Okay.
You should not be making an exception to the rule for any player. Is that fair to say?
I like that.
Now, whether Ohtani was playing for the Dodgers or he was playing for the Padres,
right,
you should not be making an exception to any rule. I think that part I think everybody would be able to agree with that. Now, is the noise louder that he's playing in LA than when he was playing with the Angels, even though both are LA? Of course, it's a lot louder. Was this also going on when he was with the Angels?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was another manager or Craig Counsell bitching about it before?
Probably not, because they're going 70 and 90.
Okay. So what I would just say, if I'm being objective here, if you're going to complain about it, complain about it. Don't complain today and not complain 5 years ago. That's the only thing that I would say. And if I'm also being objective about it, yeah, don't make an exception to the rule for a player.
They've actually made two. Because there's the Ohtani rule, which is invented because of him, that you can start a game and stay in a game as DH, which is an absurd exception in the history of baseball. Like, that's, at one point that would have been considered like unbelievable to even consider. Now it's just universally accepted. So there's that. And then they've got these roster limits where you can only have so many pitchers on a roster.
It's like 13, and 13. In the Dodgers case, because of Ohtani,
they can have 14. They can have 14. Dave Roberts responding by saying this: the thing is, it certainly benefits us because we have the player. But that's something that any team that had Ohtani would have that player. We're more than willing for other teams to go out and find a player who can do both. He's an exception because he's an exceptional player. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's not. I don't care for that.
Why would
response.
you make the exception for the exceptional player?
I don't care for that response because, and listen, maybe Dave Roberts, no matter what he does, he's gonna come out as he's looking out for Ohtani. That's his job. So the manager is supposed to say something to make Ohtani not feel maybe isolated or something along those lines. Whatever he says it doesn't matter. Either Major League Baseball is going to allow it or they're not going to allow it. I listen. There are two ways to look at if you want to say how the Dodgers are built or how they've been built. One way you could look at it is probably a similar way that you and I specifically view it. It's like, guys, come on, this is absurdity. The other way in baseball, I wonder if baseball looks at it this way. At the end of the day, is this not just purely about business? And can Major League Baseball say, no, I actually think this is good that we have this evil villain team that's wildly successful and everybody wants to see them lose? That's actually good for the sport of baseball. Baseball may look at it. They might also look at Shohei Ohtani and say, as many times as we could have Shohei Ohtani, a potential highlight, a potential this, a potential at bat,
on the field, on the field,
any of that stuff, they may sit there and say, that's better for our brand. I disagree with it. You just got to make equal rules across the board and we're done with it. That's what I would say. I don't know if baseball looks at it that way.
It's kind of like, well, why would you use the business analogy? Like, why would Amazon get the incentives to run their business, this massive behemoth, over the local, locally owned store? We know they do. Make no mistake.
Just say, I hate to tell you, obviously
they do. Of course, they have every. I'm sure.
Why do they have
advantage.
These tax? Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure they have every tax.
Yeah.
But again, by and large, I think if you polled most Americans or just people and said, "Do you think it's right that Amazon has more advantages than your local store owner down the street?" I bet most people, not everyone, I bet most people tell you, no, that's probably not right. It's kind of un-American.
Not everybody, but a very, very large amount would say that.
It's just sometimes about, and listen, life doesn't work this way. Like sometimes about what's right or not right or fair or unfair.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't work that way.
But this one I think is simpler because in Major League Baseball, you do have 30 teams. You do have, baseball actually is not a good example. I think other sports are a better example. Baseball is in this, it feels like the Wild Wild West. Certain teams can get away with certain revenue spent. Other teams don't have to spend a dime. Like there is no balance in Major League Baseball on both sides, right? But I think for us, we're going to care more about is the balance of competing, is it on par with everybody else? And I don't think that's the case. I'm okay with it. Like, let me just, in the NBA, there are going to be certain markets that should have an advantage over other squads. But really, at the end of the day, you know what it comes down to in the NBA? You got to have good ownership and you got to have a good front office. And that probably is going to be your path to winning. That necessarily isn't the case in baseball because you really can flex your power based on the amount of money that you spend out there.
Yeah, I mean, part of me, I remember when they put in the Ohtani rule in 2020 and being on the air and being like, I'm telling you right now, that's a really bad idea. But nobody seemed to care because it was the Angels at the time and he was kind of tucked away there. And then just time passed and we just accepted as well. He's a great player and you want to see him on display, to your point. And I do think there's some truth to that. And my last point to actually take the other side of the argument would be, well, it's collectively bargained. It's not like the Dodgers created the rule.
It's a good point.
It's collectively bargained. They didn't. Sure. There's not some exception in there. Oh, well, now Ohtani exists. Let's put it in there. No, it's been collectively bargained.
That's why I think at the end, and to go back to the Craig Counsell piece of it, like I said, I want more people complaining 5 years ago when he was on the Angels.
Yeah, I don't know if they were or not. I don't think they were.
They
like
probably
this.
weren't.
Yeah,
and they weren't for a reason.
Yeah,
but then it hurts your. I think it hurts your argument. Now, if you're arguing, it's like, no, make a big deal in the past.
Yeah.
When you also felt like that's not right. That rule doesn't make sense. Don't do it now because it's going to have, in my opinion, less value. I want you to be complaining when it's inconvenient, not complain when it's convenient.
Yeah, it's a great point. I agree with that. Let's debut a brand new segment on the other side.
Yeah.
And see how this lands. Plus, in the 4:00 hour, we will get to the wrap.
We do shirts and skins, and your skins.
Yeah, today.
And I'm turtleneck.
We'll go back and forth.
I'm putting more clothes on.
We'll go back and forth. Yeah. That's our next segment. We'll debut a new segment on the other side. The wrap coming up at 4 p.m. Kyle Newman, Denver Post at 4:30 here on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Schaefer and Sliwa here on San Diego Sports 760. This is day 16, almost like a prison sentence or something, the way I'm saying it.
Please stand off.
2.5 weeks in.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a whole nother topic, but yeah.
But yeah, with this, I don't know what your number is. I don't know if like by day 37 you're still going.
It.
Yeah.
If you went to prison for a period of time, would you cross off the days? If you're like, I have 60 days in prison, would you be like counting down? I would.
Probably, yeah.
60.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't count that 9 years.
I haven't been to prison. I don't know who's got a 60-day sentence, but I think it's a great question to ask.
You could get a 60-day sentence.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, again, probably not for like murder. No, that wouldn't be. I mean,
yeah, John, I think you're right on that one. Yeah, I don't think for that type of crime.
That type of crime would be more than that. We're going to debut a brand new segment.
We're going to try something today. Yeah, we're going to try something a little different.
Right. It has nothing to do with jail.
No,
I don't believe.
60 days, nothing to do with the water.
None of that.
Yeah.
Now, where does this segment idea come from? I think this was your idea.
Yeah, I think the concept was we're kind of starting to get to know each other a little bit. We got a new show, obviously, in San Diego, the best city in the country, not even close.
Yep.
And our thought process was with some of our listeners, I know San Diego obviously knows you very, very well. And I might be a San Diegan, but I haven't had a mic in front of me 5 days a week for 3 hours a day. So the idea is we do a segment called What's New? And you and I kind of, it could be something we're complaining about. It could be something that we're telling each other that we don't know about. It could be a story that we have. So that's the idea and the concept.
All right, then let's hit it.
Well,
my back doesn't hurt as much.
That's news to me.
I did cash under the table. Everything was under the table.
Didn't see that coming. Let's find out what's new with Schaefer and Sliwa.
So will we kind of volley? Like one day Alan will tell us something maybe going on in his life or he wants to complain about or something we don't know about him. Maybe one day I'll do something similar.
It's open. It's open for everybody.
This isn't, you're right.
Okay, I'm going to play off of something. I'll tell you something that's new. You said that you went to Mexico City.
Right.
And you said that was arguably one of the best sporting events that you've ever been to.
100%.
And you watched a baseball game internationally and you thought it was phenomenal. Great.
I did.
I got an international baseball story I'll share with you.
Yeah.
I told you that I've been to Japan. I went to Tokyo.
Right. You're a traveler.
I'm a traveler. Mm-hmm. And by the way, it's kind of crazy. It's freaking straight out of LAX. You could be 12 hours. You're in Tokyo. Maybe even less. I think 11 hours. You're in Tokyo.
San Diego too. San Diego International. Direct to Tokyo. Number of daily flights.
That's right. It is going to Tokyo.
Oh, yeah.
But that's recent. Isn't that more recent?
I'm not sure. You could do it multiple times a day.
All right. Well, let's do that. That makes life a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I go out to decided to go out to Tokyo Dome. I wanted to watch a baseball game in Japan. I'm like, oh my gosh, phenomenal.
So like a Nippon Professional Baseball League game?
1,000%. Okay. Nippon, that's exactly
Giants?
What it was.
So the Giants?
It was, so the equivalent is, I think it was the equivalent of Giants Dodgers. Now, whatever that equivalent is, but it's exact same colors, everything.
Yeah.
So I go out there, but yes, the Giants is the team that plays at the Tokyo Dome. What was the score of your game at Mexico City?
So we just looked this up. 16-11 Padres on 30 hits combined.
What do you think the score of my game was? It went 12 innings.
12 innings? 2-1.
That would be awesome if it was 2-1.
Would it have been? Okay. Is it 16-11?
0-0.
Into the 12th?
What happened in the 12th?
Grand Slam.
0-0.
There's no ties.
Brother.
No.
The game was over at the 12th.
Why?
Everyone got up and started walking out. I had no idea what was going on. The game was done. The game ended 0-0 at the Tokyo Dome.
My jaw never dropped. Why?
I never saw a run. I don't know.
Now I need to look up some rules.
You know what else happened?
Why?
By the way, we got to take some notes out, and we us Americans got to take some notes from the Japanese out there who are just like the most courteous people I've ever seen in my life. You know what these people are doing after the game?
What?
They had a bag. They're picking up all their own trash. They're tossing everything out like freaking we're animals out here.
Because it was a tie?
No.
Or just because every game they do that?
Because the game was over. So they just, clean up. They take care of themselves. So when you told me the story about Mexico City and the ball flies and all these runs, all I thought of was the Tokyo Dome.
So what's the rule here, Brent? Ties after 12?
After 12 innings, the games end in a tie. Only in the regular season to manage player fatigue and respect player safety.
Respect player safety.
And the last one to ensure fans can catch the last train home.
Oh, and
wow.
catch the train.
Brother, they are so
use
ahead of
public
like
transit.
oh,
a
big
lot
time.
over there,
Right.
so.
That's exactly what it is. So
That's
there's something
fascinating.
new to learn of an experience I had in a sporting event. That would be mine.
I find that fascinating. And what I was going to say to it is the U.S. equivalent of like a long baseball game, the longest baseball game ever played, 33 innings.
What?
In AAA. And this is a famous game, Pawtucket and Rochester.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped after 32 at like 4 a.m. They picked it up like the next time they met, which was during the 1981 strike. So ESPN like televised this thing. It was over in one inning. It was over in one inning when they picked it back up. But I kind of like
just 30 for 30 right there.
Yeah, I think it has been.
Okay.
There were Hall of Famers that played in that game. I want to say like Wade Boggs, Cal Ripken. They've played in that game. But I kind of like, hey, you played 12. Good try, everyone.
I'm okay if I knew it, but I had no idea.
So you're just hanging out. You're like, let me go get another popcorn.
Oh, I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
You got people coming around. The experience was great. And
scoreless for 12 innings.
Scoreless for 12. And by the way, the crowd is so like energetic and they're so polite and they're ready to erupt. And sometimes they're erupting off just two guys on and it's, and nothing happens. And I'm like, what would have happened if they scored a run? Well, I don't know because I wasn't there for
you never saw it.
Never saw a run.
Well, now you got to go back.
I'd go back in a heartbeat. Yeah, but it was cool. It was a cool experience. Just nobody scored. So it was the equivalent of going to an NBA game. Nobody
scores in an NBA game. Yeah,
you never get to see like what it was actually like.
I'm trying to. Ties are interesting. Again, you're going to get in soccer,
but by and large, get in the NFL.
But by and large, I was going to say they've taken it out of American sports. By and large, back in the day, college football would end in ties. NFL, you're right, can still end in ties.
But it doesn't, it happens once or twice a season at the most.
NHL, they'll do shootouts, right? Like, it feels like they've taken, it's like people want a result. They want to know.
In soccer, you can't.
And soccer, you can, right, in a regular season.
Unless you're in the postseason.
Yeah.
There you go, buddy.
I need to get to Tokyo. Not because of this 0-0 game, the scoreless game that was 12 innings.
Yeah, you would love it.
But yeah,
Familia would love it. It's amazing.
The family with tap water.
Japan is amazing. If there's a country I'm okay with getting tap water, I'd say probably Japan.
Yeah. Be Japan. Well, I thought what's new was pretty good there. I learned a lot because I'm fascinated by the idea that a regular season game could end in a tie in professional baseball.
All right, one American fast food place in that stadium. Which one do you think it is?
One American fast food in there.
It's very random.
Is it random?
It's very random, but it's very popular.
KFC.
That's a good guess. Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is in the Tokyo
Taco Bell
Dome.
made it in the Tokyo Dome.
Is the Tokyo Dome nice? Because I feel like it's been around for forever. It's
awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the walk up to it and just it's very cool. That's like
my list.
I was gonna say that's a bucket list you could check off.
Yeah,
so.
I want to do that. That was very good. All right, at 4:30, Kyle Newman from the Denver Post gets us ready for Padres and Rockies game one of that series coming up tonight at 5:40 Pacific. Coming up at 5:30, we'll turn our attention back to the NBA postseason with Kobe Price. Covers the Lakers for the California Post. He'll join us at 5:30 as the Lakers get ready for the Rockets, a game you can hear right here on San Diego Sports 760 tonight with pregame coverage at 7:15. But we'll get to the wrap on the other side. We're here until 6 p.m. The phone number.
Some of these comments
are great.
Funny.
877-767-4760. We'll get to some of your comments and more on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeart Radio app. Hey guys, it is Schaefer again for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. I've been telling you about the hotel and spa at Jamul. You can experience elevated luxury. They've got their refined hotel stay, rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, all the excitement of Jamul Casino Resort seamlessly brought together in one unforgettable destination. You're going to love it. Take your stay to the next level with exclusive hotel packages crafted for the ultimate escape. Speaking of things you'll love, you need to check out Jamul 23 and their lobster buffet every day. You can enjoy all-you-can-eat lobster every day, plus dozens of other delicious stations. Start your morning with their new signature breakfast buffet, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10:30 a.m., featuring made-to-order omelets and fresh fruit and sweet and savory favorites as well. And make sure to swing by Tony Gwynn's Endless Dining as well. You can enjoy San Diego's favorite endless dining experience Wednesday through Sunday at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. Thursdays feature their tour of the Orient Buffet as well. So check it out at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. The Padres are in Denver tonight to start a series with the Rockies. It's going to be Randy Vasquez going for the Friars and Jimmy Herget going for Colorado. First pitch is set for 5:40. In NFL news, Mike Tomlin has joined the crew at NBC. The former Steelers head coach is joining NBC's Sunday night pregame show Football Night in America as a studio analyst. And we have game twos in the NBA playoffs again today in about 5 minutes or so. Celtics and 76ers are about to tip off at 5 o'clock. We got Blazers, Spurs. And right here on San Diego Sports 760 at 7:15, we got Lakers, Rockets game 2. Tip will be a little bit after 7:30. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Schaefer and Sliwa here on San Diego Sports 760. A reminder, take us wherever you go with the free absolutely free iHeartRadio app. One of the great apps, by the way, in the history of the App Store. I kid you not. Like, I wonder how many Americans right now have the iHeart app on their phones. It's a lot. It is a ton. And it's a must if you listen to this station.
A lot of good content. Obviously, if you're listening to us, how much easier is it for you to walk in and out of your car?
Yeah.
And you just keep this rhythm going. Obviously, we're on YouTube as well, so you could search Schaefer and Sliwa on YouTube as well.
Yeah, no doubt
Remember
about
that time when you were working on the comments and you found a way to, you wanted to see
that again?
Like where the comments are, and all you did was just cover the Sliwa portion of the show.
I did do that. I did. It wasn't within, it was kind of within 10 minutes.
No, it said Schaefer and like, they just saw the A at the end.
Now it's covering me up because remember we switched sides of the screen. Oh, but it does. You're right. It kind of
it's
this
not
looks
covering
good.
you.
Look at
No,
this.
this
right
is
now.
good. Yeah,
This
right here
good.
is good.
All right, we'll do that.
Yeah, right here is good.
So if you're watching on the stream, if you comment, you'll actually see your comments on screen right now over on YouTube. Just search for Schaefer and Sliwa. Kyle Newman from the Denver Post gets us ready for Padres and Rockies from Coors. Coming up tonight, he'll join us at 4:30. Then we'll talk some Lakers coming up at 5:30 here tonight as well with Kobe Price with the California Post. He'll join us at 5:30. But right now, let's get to this.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Are you surprised the Rockets are a 5.5-point favorite over the Lakers tonight in LA?
A little surprised. Just because we don't know what's going to happen with Kevin Durant.
Right.
Ime Udoka, right before game one on Saturday, just kind of dropped the bomb. Everybody saw that he was questionable, but nobody really thought he was going to be out. And then the Lakers just dominated the Rockets. I mean, led the entire way. So I'm a little surprised it's a 5.5 points. Now, unless Vegas, who typically knows what the hell is going on, knows that the Rockets are desperate and maybe knows that they're leaning towards KD playing in this game.
I'm glad you mentioned desperate. Brent's heard me say this, the desperate team theory. The team that needs it oftentimes finds a way to get it.
Oh, they're
especially
desperate. They're
this
desperate
time
tonight.
of year.
Yeah.
Now, poster guy, we talked about this earlier. The Rockets put a poster on social media without KD.
No KD.
So poster guy's like, he's out. But Vegas,
might as well put Olajuwon on there.
Yeah, exactly. They should have done that. Yao Ming on that thing. But Vegas has the Rockets as a 5.5 point favorite. How could you have them as a 5.5 point road favorite without Kevin Durant? So they think he will play.
Now, I don't know what it was going into Saturday's game, but isn't it kind of the same situation? Weren't they probably heavy favorites? And then they, the news comes out, he's not playing. And then whatever that line is completely drops.
Yeah, it must have. And maybe that'll happen again tonight, to your point. If you learn that KD's unavailable, that moves up.
Just hypothetically speaking here, the Lakers are huge underdogs in this series anyways. If KD is out again tonight, I mean, I still think you'll get the Rockets' best shot, but they have a legitimate chance of going up 2-0 in a series that I don't think they should have any, just let's put it this way. It's such a challenge without having Luka and AR.
LeBron in his career up 2-0 or 3-1, 32-0 in series play, playoff series. Up 2-0 or 3-1. He is 32-0.
That's an impressive stat.
He's good. He's had a nice career.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yes. Next question.
Do you guys think Mike Tomlin will be a good analyst on Football Night in America?
This was just announced.
Yes, I'm a fan of Mike Tomlin. I'll tell you why I think he's going to be a good analyst. Now, listen, I don't know what people want on TV, but for me, I'm okay. Give me that coach perspective. Give me that, that hard talk. Give me that, let me tell you what I would tell the players. So I'm going to be interested. I like Mike Tomlin. I liked him as a head coach. Yes, he was kind of a, how do I put it? Intense, maybe the right word, but I'm okay with that. I'll take Mike Tomlin on behind a camera.
So he stepped down, right? Was it by choice or was it a collective decision?
Depends who you ask.
Yeah, it depends who you ask.
It sounds like, hey, we've had such a long relationship.
We're gonna let you.
You won a Super Bowl. Yeah. Let's do this the right way. You say you're walking away. We say you're walking away, and everybody just move on.
But here's the thing: he always wears a hat, right? Mm-hmm. So on Sunday Night Football, is he going to wear a hat? I'm just so used to him having the brim bent and just that certain look.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who are the toughest guys that were either players or they were coaches that went in front of a camera and it was a really tough adjustment.
Well, people say Drew Brees.
You know who it was for me? It was a little bit of this too, and I'm warming up to him more. But Gronk, that was like a weird
Brady.
Tom Brady.
The first year for Brady was kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
I think Tomlin will be very good. I like Mike Tomlin. I respect Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
His
do too.
career speaks for itself. I think he'll be very good. Next question.
Do you think the NBA should do a traveling draft like the NFL?
Traveling draft.
So where's NFL in Chicago? Where are they right
Pittsburgh.
now? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right, they're in Pittsburgh. But every year they're going to a different city.
Yeah, they've been doing it.
To be honest with you, like why wouldn't you do that?
I know.
That sounds like just a phenomenal idea. It sounds like a great way to get different cities involved and get their local community involved, get fans out. And I don't really know what the reason would be not to do that.
Think about it. It's in June. You put it anywhere. Boston, Massachusetts, Philadelphia, LA. I mean, they may expand this league to Las Vegas and Seattle. There's so many opportunities. It's made for television. It's only 60 picks one night or one weekend night. It's perfect.
Would you ever do it in a market that doesn't have an NBA team or an NFL team?
I like that possibility.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I could see the NFL, to your point, bringing this thing to London. Because the NFL in London, that, I don't know.
But that's I think those are good ideas.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't think, and am I getting up to watch a game at 4 a.m. or something like that? Like,
no.
The international play is what it is, but the concept and the idea, I think, is a good idea.
Next question.
What stadium is on your bucket list or ballpark?
No, just any arena, venue.
So we were just talking about the Tokyo
venue.
Dome. So, okay. If I had to pick one, which I think would be such a cool event to go to, first off, if the top of my list is definitely a soccer match. Like, I would love to go to an English Premier League game. I'm a Chelsea guy all of a sudden.
I know because the Padres.
We're big Chelsea guys here.
Right.
But I think if I got to pick one, can I go see a amazing soccer game at the Azteca?
Wow.
In Mexico City?
You went there.
Would that not be one of the coolest venues to go see what World Cup is there, right?
Yeah, this year.
Come on.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to top.
What's yours? Sports arena?
This is kind of interesting. I'm with you in kind of the soccer venues. I don't know the name of this thing.
The energy of some of these damn stadiums.
I'm going to sound like an idiot for anyone that follows soccer or knows soccer, but what's the name of the iconic soccer stadium in Rio? Like,
I think you sound like an idiot.
Yeah, I kind of sound like an idiot, but they've had like a World Cup final there. I'm sure the Brazilian national team plays there. It's something famous. It looks really cool on TV. The idea of Rio, isn't that kind of intriguing to you? Seeing a game in Rio de Janeiro.
Maracana? Maracana Stadium?
I don't know if that's how you say it. Maybe it is.
Marciana? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, maybe it would just be like.
No, that's badass.
Maybe it would be like
that's amazing.
Sports arena.
That one's on your list? Where is that on your list?
I've already taken it.
You've taken it in?
Yeah.
But why did we both go with a soccer stadium?
Like
just the energy? Yeah.
And they're like, the American venues we've done, right? Like what American venue is? I've been to the Rose Bowl. Mm-hmm. Like what's the American venue? MSG, everyone would speak to.
Yeah, Fenway, Yankee Stadium. Wrigley Field, I've never been to. I've never been to Wrigley.
Either have I. Brent's a Cubs fan. He has.
Been outside of Wrigley.
Mine's probably Fenway.
You haven't been to Fenway?
No.
It's a must.
For Red Sox Yankees, I think that'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think, like, what is a building that's been recently built?
The only other thing I could think of is you start, put me in an SEC game. I don't care who the hell's playing. But that LSU.
Oh, how about a little Death Valley at night, which is LSU at night? LSU. I'll tell you what. A lifetime ago, I went to Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. A whiteout night game in State College in front of 110,000 people, with everyone's got their white pom poms and
incredible
tailgating all day. I mean, you're right. The college football scene is. I probably should have gone somewhere there.
But that's kind of the funny thing is we didn't go with like NFL. We didn't go NBA.
No.
We went to this because it's the vibe. The vibe that a college football game gives is only there for college football.
6 times a year.
The vibe that
soccer
match is only, you know what I mean? I don't think you could get that in
at Smoothie King?
Smoothie King
in downtown New Orleans?
You know I've been to Smoothie King.
So
right?
have I for an Elite Eight game. When did you go?
Lakers Pelicans.
Lakers Pelicans.
AD, I think, was still there, if I'm right. Yeah, AD was still there. And the whole time I'm there, I'm like, why? How did they buy? How did Smoothie King Center get this?
I wasn't a fan. When I went to see an Elite Eight game between Butler and Florida, I think Florida won the national championship maybe that year. I have no idea. It's forever ago. I was a bachelor party. There was no one there.
At the game?
No one.
Yeah.
The whole second upper deck was empty. Now, sometimes that happens in the Elite Eight because you're down to 2 teams remaining now, like in the regional or the site. But I wasn't overly impressed.
What did you send me earlier? You said that this was a stadium in Vegas.
Oh my! So Vegas has already proposed building a brand new arena for their NBA team.
Can we
should be
stop
over
in Vegas, please?
21,000 seats and not attached to a casino, a standalone arena, 21,000 seats.
The way Vegas operates, I'm sorry, I'm going to take a shot at our city. By the way, it's probably more the state of California,
right?
But the way they build a stadium is the way we get approval to build like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. It's like the same process.
But right, you're right. The 2-bedroom, 1-bath house takes probably longer.
You get 21,000 seat stadium here. That, by the way, they already have. What's the T-Mobile Arena? What are some of the other arenas that they have?
Grand Garden, Michelob Ultra.
UNLV obviously has it. They've had
Thomas
that for a while. Thomas and Mack.
Oh, there's more.
Way they build a stadium in Vegas for either NFL or any of those, how quick they build a stadium in any of
the
these.
A's are going up right now.
In freaking San Diego, it's like, call us back in a year. There's a height limit. Build the damn stadium.
I mean, yeah.
We're not going to get any other squads unless we build a stadium. That's it.
Think?
This is it. Like, this is our only shot.
Right, like you have to build something.
Past some of these damn stadiums, like the Midway Rising or any of these other proposals out there. It's the only way we can be in the conversation. Vegas is really they're really proposing building a brand new stadium that is attached to nothing.
That would cost like billions, by the way. I don't know how it gets done. I have no idea.
Can't build a Foot Locker here. Foot Locker's still popular?
True. Yeah,
I
think so. Yeah, I like Foot Locker.
I don't know if
I think you can build them. I've been to them. There's a few in the county.
It's a couple.
Yeah, but it's a good point. I agree with the overall sentiment. Like, if you build it, right?
We already did that. They built Snapdragon and literally.
I know. Look, you got
one of the pro teams that came. You got another pro team in the NWSL. Yeah,
I agree with you. Listen, if I was the builder, I'd be building, but I'm not the builder. So stay tuned.
Got frustrated just because we mentioned what arenas we want to go to.
Kyle Newman, Denver Post, joins us at 4:30, getting us ready for the Padres and the Rockies. On the other side, I've reached the point where I'm tired of AI, not Allen Iverson, but like AI in sports. And we'll explain next on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, San Diego Sports 760 congratulates all our winners in iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher powered by Donors Choose. There's still time to donate to a classroom project, and your donation will be matched by Donors Choose. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. Look at iHeart making it happen.
That was really well read.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Like the inflection, the tone, the emphasis, the cadence. What are you? Oh,
it's enough.
All right.
Yeah. No,
all right.
no.
Why does someone put in the chat, by the way, we're live on YouTube and, of course, on the iHeartRadio app as well and on 760. If you're a Padres fan, make sure to not check in on what's going on with Chelsea right now. Now, we knew that there was a fan protest this weekend prior to their most recent match. It's not like they've had this. Has it been that much of a train wreck on field? They're not like 18th in the Premier League.
They lost 3-0 today.
Ooh, today?
Chelsea, today. That's my squad, too.
I know. Well, I thought you were like diehard, and now we didn't even know they lost today.
A week ago, it wasn't my squad.
But now
today, as we sit here, Chelsea's my squad.
Would you buy a jersey? Serious question.
No, but how cool would it be to go how cool would it be to go to an actual Chelsea versus?
Serious question.
Yeah.
Where's Chelsea? Like all these teams in London?
Yeah.
A lot of them are. Is Chelsea in London?
Yeah.
Isn't that fascinating that the Premier League, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, let's say, and I could look this up on Wikipedia, but we're on live radio. What are 8 of the teams in the London area? More? Imagine that. Imagine in the NBA,
That's incredible.
8 of the teams were in the LA area or the New York area. 8. And maybe it's more than that. I don't know the answer. Is it more than that? How many of the teams? And by the way, the teams changed. The teams changed because of relegation. But is it 5?
Okay, I got a relegation question for you.
All right.
Do you like that idea? And I'm going to tell you where I'm going. And I don't know how many teams are in it, so I'm
20.
really okay. I know 20 are in the main.
Bottom 3 leave.
Bottom 3 are out. So how many are in the next group?
Top 3 move up. I think it's 20. Like there's the Premier League.
Okay. There's
someone correct me on this. The division underneath it. What's it called?
Okay. Whatever it's called.
And then there's like multiple leagues below that.
Okay, so let me. This is my plan for San Diego. Tell me if this pitch is going to work in the NFL. Why not? Just hear me out on this.
Okay.
Why not get more or NBA or I think those are probably the only 2 that maybe apply.
Okay.
Why not add another 10 teams down the road? Like in the next 10, 15 years. Can you not have something similar
to English soccer?
To what English soccer, to the Premier League has? And if San Diego got an NFL team and it was you're starting on this
second level,
the second tier, and the only way you work your way up is based off of winning and everything else, you got to be top 3, all that stuff. We talk about expansion in some of these sports. If you're going to continue to expand, which I still think there's opportunity for and markets for, and there's enough cities out there that would be hungry to have whatever it is, NFL, NBA, any of that. That might be our only chance of getting back into some of these
professional leagues.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with it. In theory, I like the idea. It's obviously very cultural.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think financially, this is where you run into the issue. Let me explain. The Seahawks were just sold. They just won the Super Bowl, right? Or they're going to be sold. I don't even know. But let's say the Seahawks go for $10 billion. And then all of a sudden, because they got a bad coach one year, they finish in last place in their division. And now they're in League 2. This $10 billion entity.
What's the difference in the Premier League?
I don't know. It's like been going on for forever. It's a great point.
That part's true.
It's a great point.
That's something that's kind of And I should have prepared better for this, but this conversation just came up. We're talking about Chelsea. Somebody hits us up in the chat.
There was a world, again, I'm the same way. If someone knows soccer and is listening to this, they probably want to, drive off the road. But there was a world where Manchester City, one of the preeminent franchises of the last decade plus in the Premier League, was in the third league. They weren't just in the league below the Premier League. They were in the league below that league.
But I think they got
their way up.
Bought by
they did by billion. These crazy,
and then all of a sudden everything changed. Sure. Where Man U used to be the team, and now it's the club.
Well, I mean, I would probably put that more into the college model. Like, why is Vanderbilt grandfathered into the SEC when San Diego State has invested hundreds of millions of dollars in athletics and can't get in a power league?
Well, and location doesn't matter anymore. Where before everything used to be regional. It's like, you have the Pac-12.
Yeah.
and they're all, semi
They're
within the
West.
West Coast. Now that doesn't matter
Stanford
anymore.
Plays Duke and volleyball.
Doesn't matter.
Durham.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe that structure does change. The only reason I'd bring that up is because it's like this. You had this dream one day of like adding a professional team or getting back into the NFL. And I'm just saying in my head, I'm like, maybe this is the only way to do it.
How do you say the Brazilian soccer stadium that we touched on earlier?
Yeah.
Someone just said your pronunciation of that should be a hate crime. Okay. So how do you pronounce that?
You pronounce it then.
I don't know how.
Somebody help me with it then.
I know. I've heard it a million times.
No, it probably wasn't good.
Oh my gosh. All right.
It sounded
Newman.
right.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Kyle Newman, Denver Post on the other side as the Padres get ready for game 1 of the 3-game series at Coors Field coming up tonight at 5:30. We'll talk some Lakers game 2 coming up at 5:30. That'll be with Kobe Price, who covers the Lakers for the California Post. This is Schaefer and Sliwa on San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Padres are in Denver tonight to start a series with the Rockies. It's going to be Randy Vasquez going against Jimmy Herget. First pitch is set for 5:40. In NFL news, Mike Tomlin has joined the crew of NBC. The former Steelers head coach is joining NBC's Sunday night pregame show Football Night in America as a studio analyst. In NBA news, right now with about 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, the Celtics are up on Philadelphia 26-13. And at 5 o'clock, we got Blazers Spurs games 2. And right here on San Diego Sports 760 at 7:15, we got Lakers Rockets game 2. And the tip will be a little after 7:30. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org.
All right, great to have Cal Newman from the Denver Post back with us here on San Diego Sports 760. This is Schaefer and Sliwa, Padres and Rockies from Coors Field Game 1 coming up in just over an hour. So, Kyle, we appreciate you taking time for us in San Diego. I'm just curious what the reaction has been, whether it's from the clubhouse or Rockies fans or sports fans in Denver, with the back and forth. The Dodgers catcher Dalton Rushing calling the Rockies like first pitch swing approach, quote unquote, fishy. What's been the reaction, if any, in Denver as a result of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw the Rockies have a little the game after Dalton Rushing had those comments. You know, they had some big hits, some doubles, and they were passing lines towards the dugout. So
Right.
The Rockies, you know, had some fun with it, and you know, I think they earned the right to in that series. A split with the Dodgers, you know, coming off the 119 loss atrocity of last year. The Rockies are 9-14 at this point. It's pretty dang good first, you know, about month or so of baseball for this club, considering the low expectations coming into the year. And so, yeah, I mean, with the Dalton's comments, you know, I think a little bit of surprise maybe that he came out and said that, but Rockies came out, put up 9 runs the next day in a win. And, you know, they lost the series finale 12-3. But, again, to be 9-14 at this point, guys, is far exceeding, I think, any of the critics' expectations here locally and nationally.
Kyle, just going back, it hasn't been too long since the Padres and the Rockies do play their 4-game set. Both teams, I think, at the time were 6-6. Padres take all 4 of those games. What are some of your takeaways from that series down in San Diego? I mean, obviously, the first game is the Xander Grand Slam walk-off. The next game is Gavin Sheets. So I know there were probably some tough moments there for the Rockies, but just overall, what were some of your thoughts in the 4-game set as we get ready to go up, match up again against the Rockies?
Well, that was bringing the Rockies back down to earth, right? I mean, they had the sweep against Houston right before that, and everyone was riding high at 6-6, you know, as high as you can ride 12 games into a major league season. But that 4-game sweep was a reminder of the Rockies' recent struggles at Petco Park, and then, you know, B, a reminder of, well, the Rockies still have a very long way to go to be competitive within this division. Now, granted, like I just mentioned, a split with the Dodgers here at Coors heading into this series to finish up the homestand against the Padres, that was encouraging. But in that sweep in San Diego a few weeks ago, I mean, too many strikeouts, not good enough pitching. So some things that remind you of where this club still needs to really improve. And, you know, starting pitching depth continues to be an issue. Kyle Freeland is still on the IL, some shoulder soreness. Hopefully the Rockies get him back in the next couple weeks. But, you know, it's a big issue because once a starter goes down, they just don't have a lot of major league caliber guys behind him. Now, going into this series opener against the Padres tonight, you're going to see Jimmy Herget on the mound as the opener, but then Chase Dolander coming in right behind Jimmy, and he's going to, you know, get the bulk of the quote unquote starters innings, even though he's not starting. And manager Warren Schaefer has said that's going to continue to be the plan with Chase. You know, they're sort of ace in waiting as they try and get him more acclimated to the majors, coming off, you know, the up and downs of his rookie season last year. But Chase Dolander in that role, coming off the opener, has pitched very well this year, and Rockies are looking for him to take another step forward here tonight against the Padres.
Cal Newman is a sports writer for the Denver Post, covers the Rockies. He's with us right now on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. Me personally, no relation to Warren Schaefer, the manager of the Rockies. He's an interesting story, is he not, Kyle, in the fact that he was drafted by the Rockies, never played in the major leagues, spent like 6 years toiling in the minors. Then he managed in their minor league system for like forever. He's only 41 years old. They fire Buddy Black, who's got the San Diego State ties, now works for the Padres. And here's Warren Schaefer, elevated to manager, but he's been with the Rockies organization since he was like 22 years old, right?
Yeah, and like you said, an interesting backstory of having drafted by the club. I mean, didn't make the majors. Not only that, he didn't even really sniff the majors. I mean, he toiled for a while. Obviously, was not a true big league prospect. Immediately after his playing career is over, he starts coaching and in various roles in the minor leagues. He coached AAA Albuquerque there for a little bit. Comes up to the majors and was a third base coach, infield coach for under Buddy Black. And it was apparent, even during Buddy Black's tenure, he was a young coach with a lot of energy. The young guys in the clubhouse and the veterans all really respect him, it seems like. So I was not surprised when he got the interim tag last year. And then also, honestly, not surprised when he got the full manager tag heading into this season, because number one, what high quality, top tier candidate are you going to get to manage a team that's, in the abyss and coming off the worst season in franchise history and one of the worst ever? There's not a big pool. Number two, he already had developed, a pretty solid reputation in that clubhouse, especially with the younger guys. So, and honestly, I think he's doing well. He's, shown he's open to experimentation. We talked about the opener here tonight. He's shown and he said, on the record that the club needs to get better in, areas such as development and analytics. And obviously that's part of the front office house cleaning that we saw in the offseason, the shift towards that, hopefully. But I think he's a new age guy that, with some old school tendencies that fits the Rockies right now. And can he be the guy to, maybe get him out of this deep hole? We'll see. But he is the right guy for the moment, I believe.
Kyle Newman, who's a sports writer for the Denver Post. Padres getting ready to take on the Colorado Rockies. Greatly appreciate your time, Kyle. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. Last week, one of the bigger stories in all of sports was the San Diego Padres. At least they're on the verge of being sold. Jose Feliciano and his wife will become the new owners of the Padres whenever that becomes official. $3.9 billion. As somebody, just an outsider, obviously we're covering this, we're watching it. What was your initial take when you saw the numbers, when you kind of see what comes with the theme of the San Diego Padres right now, and certainly a team that is trying to change I think they've already changed the outlook of who they are, but certainly competing for a World Series. What does that mean? Somebody who's covering the Denver, and you see that sale go down, how do you view it? How do others around the league, you think, view it?
Yeah, I followed that with intrigue, and I know, there's been talks of sale of the team in years past. To see it finally go through, honestly, I was a little surprised, just given, like you said, the state of the Padres. I mean, they've been competitive and in the divisional race, in the playoffs here the last, half decade, even going back further than that. But I was not surprised to see the number, to be honest. I know it's a huge number, but you see what these sports franchises are going for. The numbers just keep going up and up. And so, yeah, hefty price tag. I'm interested to see, what changes happen with the Padres going forward as a result of this sale. But also to consider is the Rockies. I don't know if you guys saw that the Rockies just had 40% of their ownership sold. And 1 second, guys.
All good. I've been there.
Yeah, family side.
I'm trying to deal with.
No, you're good.
Anyway, so the Rockies just sold 40% stake to the Broncos ownership, the Walton Penner family ownership group. And there was a lot of buzz in our town about that. Now, obviously, the Mofforts still have full control of the team, but to sell off that big of a stake to the local, Broncos ownership, which has turned the Broncos around here in a few short years from one of the worst teams in football to, making the AFC title game last year, that made ownership, headlines here in this state, especially for those who would like to see the Mofforts, sell eventually. I don't think they're ever going to give up control of the team. It's a family heirloom to them. But, the team dynamics, the team ownership dynamics are always interesting to track, whether it's the Rockies, the Padres, because, once that team gets sold, especially if it's a majority sale, a lot of things can change, just like they did with the Broncos. So I'll be interested to see, what happens with the Padres here after the sale is finalized.
I want to say we've talked about this before, Kyle. Just the final one for me before you go. Historically, the Rockies have drawn fans regardless of their success, right? Like, they've had teams that have been average and still had big crowds. Last year, obviously, they were historically bad. What is it like now in Denver at Coors Field? Again, traditionally, this great fan base that travels the state far and wide to see the Rockies. Has that changed with the way they've played here, basically over the course of this 2020s decade?
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much always like a guaranteed 3 million plus draw for their home games. And, pretty much guaranteed top 10 in the league, often top 5 with their home attendance. Now, you saw that take a hit last year. Not to say people just stopped coming and it was a ghost town, but the attendance definitely dipped. Now, the thing about Coors Field, you guys got to understand, is that it's such a haven for visiting fans. I mean, the Dodgers come to town, the Cubs come to town. Now that all the American leagues come to town, the Yankees and Red Sox, the place is sold out. Doesn't matter if the Rockies are terrible. Doesn't matter if they're the worst team in the league. The stadium will sell out for a lot of marquee opponents and a lot of, opponents who have very big nationwide fan bases. Even the Padres draw quite well at Coors Field. The Giants, especially. D-backs not so much. But it's almost bulletproof, man. And that's been a criticism of the Monforts, is that they know that they have this crown jewel and this gym in Lodo that is Coors Field. It's in pretty dang good condition, despite being the third oldest stadium in the National League behind Wrigley and Dodger Stadium. And they know that, well, regardless of how good the team is, people are going to still come out. That has been tested, though, to your question, over the past few years. 3 straight 100-loss seasons. It has taken a toll at the attendance office. But I got to say, if the Rockies can even be under 100 wins this year, attendance will rise from what it was last year. And actually, it's interesting. There was a recent study done by a local Colorado nonprofit that talked about the impact of attendance and correlating with Rockies wins and losses. And if the Rockies were suddenly to become, how good they were in 2018 or 17, competing at the top of the division, you're talking, difference in like 1 million fans, basically, 3.5 million plus come through the gates of Coors Field. That's a lot of economic revenue for downtown Denver, et cetera. So the answer to the question being, it's a bulletproof stadium, but the fans have definitely, kind of shown that they're sick of the product as is. Even so, though, the Rockies' attendance last year, considering they lost 119 games, was still pretty dang good.
Yeah, the final one for me too, Kyle. That's dangerous territory there, because if they're banking on, well, it doesn't matter if Rocky fans are coming out or not, we got all these other fan bases coming out. That's the worst position to be in as a sports fan. Is, obviously, if ownership doesn't care, who comes out to the game, as long as they're selling seats. Final one I got for you, and this one I'm going to take a little bit of a curveball. What happened to the Nuggets yesterday? I'm watching the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know how much you're watching any of the NBA, but I thought Nuggets were taking a 2-0 lead. They end up blowing that game at home.
Yeah, fair question. And I mean, this series we've seen, what was it, 28 games coming into this series over the past couple of years. It was 14-14.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this is a very, very intriguing first round matchup. And, it was going to be a dogfight. We knew that coming in. I think you watched the game last night. Jaden McDaniels of the Wolves afterwards, said, quote, "They're all bad defenders."
Yeah.
And, maybe some bulletin board material for the Nuggets. But
Sure.
he's saying what critics of the team have been saying all along. When this team does not commit to play defense, they're in trouble, regardless of having the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic, regardless of having, some marquee, complementary pieces, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Christian Brown. I mean, when they don't commit to play defense, they're in big trouble. Blew a 19-point lead last night, and they've lost now 6 consecutive playoff games when they've had a 1-game lead in the series. So they've got to get it figured out, and they've got to commit to defend on that end of the floor, because if they don't, the Timberwolves can send him home packing in the first round and pretty much, end a season that has championship expectations and hopes in a colossal first round disappointment. So they got to get together. Now, if they can beat Minnesota, which matches up very well against them, with their size and their guards, even with Ant not completely healthy, they're a matchup problem for the Nuggets. If the Nuggets can get past them, I can see them making a run, but they gotta start defending better first in order to do that.
Kyle, great perspective and insight. We appreciate you taking time for us here in San Diego.
Guys, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it.
Again soon.
Yeah,
Thank you.
looking forward to it. That was Kyle Newman with the Denver Post. Speaking of the NBA, we'll hear what Shams has to say about both Austin Reeves and Luka in terms of their timeline. Coming up next on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Schaefer and Sliwa on this Tuesday afternoon. By the way, Brian Dutcher will join us Thursday at 3:30.
Get out of here.
Brian Dutcher will join us live.
Look Look at you and your
Thursday.
contacts, man.
Yeah, I know some people.
What's that Rolodex look like over there?
It's just a phone. Truthfully,
You don't have I still have one.
like you probably have like LeBron in your phone.
I still have the Rolodex where
Do you really?
I'm going through.
I've never had one.
No, I'm just kidding. I want to have it. 'cause
You've
I think it'd be
interviewed.
kinda
A serious
cool.
question.
Yeah.
'Cause You did pre-half posts for the Lakers
Yep.
on their flagship.
Mhm.
You've interviewed LeBron James.
I have.
That's ridiculous, dude. Who else have you interviewed? That's basically going to take the cake.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if I said,
Have you
well, I've
interviewed- what's
interviewed
that guy
Luke
like?
Walton,
What's the guy like? The player? You sent me a photo of him the other night. You know that
Jake
guy.
LaRavia.
Yeah. Have you interviewed Jake LaRavia?
Well, when you say interview, these are not technically one-on-ones, right?
Yeah.
So
No, you
this
did a
is-
one-on-one with LeBron, didn't you?
That one technically I did, but that was media day.
That it counts.
It does count, but it's not like,
What'd you ask him? Like, hey, big year coming up. Like, seriously, it was LeBron James did 50,000 interviews.
media day is a little more scripted.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I got you.
I think for
Hit on
that
a couple of
one,
things.
you know what it was? I think it was your top 5 greatest Lakers of all time. Or if you're putting together like a top 5 starting
asked
lineup.
him?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What if you catch him off guard and he's like,
You know what? I think
Julius Irving.
I think I caught him off guard, but it's LeBron. And
Yeah, hopefully
you're not going to find anybody more knowledgeable
Yeah.
in the game. And the dude actually had like a phenomenal starting 5.
I've asked you this like 7 times in 16 shows. Will he have a statue one day outside?
That's a very touchy subject, I think, for a lot of Laker fans. You know what? I'm gonna
Table that?
I'm gonna give you a good example on this. By the way, if you don't want to watch or if you want to listen to the Lakers tonight, we are carrying the game. So just heads up here. We got
7:15.
Lakers Rockets. Yep, 7:15 pre. So I left the game on Saturday. And
Early?
no, I
Like you
ended up doing
typically do.
the last one gone. I end up doing, I'll do a stream from there,
Right.
stuff like that. So I leave the game and I hadn't seen the Pat Riley statue yet. Now the Pat Riley statue is like within the last maybe
Yeah.
30 days, something like
Gotcha.
that. I can't remember
Yeah.
exactly when it was. But number one, I've kind of forgot. And number two, I'm like, oh, I'm walking out. I'm like, oh yeah, that's
I'll
right.
check
Pat
that
Riley,
out.
where is he?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it, and this I'll go back to your question, but let me just kind of give you an idea of the Lakers that are out there, and then you can give me from your perspective whether LeBron should get a statue or not. Okay.
Shaq, Kobe.
So they go Kareem, Magic, Pat Riley, Jerry West, Kobe,
Shaq.
Chick Hearn,
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal. Like
Yeah. These are big.
you got the legends of the legends.
Not LaRavia.
Would you put a LeBron statue outside of crypto?
I mean, I don't know. That's why I asked you.
It's a sensitive subject for I think Laker fans because LeBron's been a sensitive subject for Laker fans for a long time. By the
Yeah.
way, this is just like any Laker fan. I got plenty of cousins and family.
Yeah.
All grew up in San Diego, and they're like, I can't stand LeBron.
I
I'm
know.
like, all right,
Yeah.
just watch the guy on the floor, like
Right.
whatever it is. Here's the problem with giving him a statue, which if you told me today, do you think they should give him a statue? I would say no. Okay. But here's why I think he's going to get a statue. He's rocking a Los Angeles Laker jersey for 8 years. This is his longest
At least.
consecutive stretch
Right.
that he's had with any other team. You did win an NBA championship. And when people look back and they say, if you come to crypto.com arena, there's something about the Lakers franchise, AEG, who owns that entire area, of saying there's a LeBron James statue. Like you're putting all these
Yeah.
greats out there. Wayne Gretzky's out there. You got all these like Hall of Famers, all this other stuff. I think Oscar De La Hoya, just going down the list of like people off the top of my head, a lot of Kings players that are there. I think the Lakers and I think AEG want to have one of the greatest to ever play the game.
So people can visit it.
Was a Laker for 8 years to have a statue in that Laker jersey. If it's off merit, I'm not giving him a statue. That's
Off
me.
merit. Maybe they could put him
Merit
in
as a Laker.
put him in a bubble. Like the statue in a
Oh,
bubble.
man. That's just
Is that tough?
the disrespect.
Here's the thing. Hear me out.
Dis-
Would you put a statue
respect.
outside Cleveland Arena? You would, correct? Their first
course.
title.
I'm doing it in Miami too. He won't
That's what I was
do
going
that.
to say.
Yeah,
Would you
no
put it
question
outside
about
Miami Arena? whatever it's called?
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
you put it outside crypto. It's kind of a fascinating conversation.
Because that franchise.
right.
Because it's that
Yeah,
franchise.
if he played for the Clippers and he won one, obviously.
you would
put
rename the
3.
stadium
Yeah.
after him.
Exactly. But he doesn't play for the Clippers. And he didn't win for that franchise.
Tire jersey, right thing to do. But yeah, state. But I think they will give him a state. I think again, I'm speaking out of my ass here. I think they will. I think that it kind of plays to the Showtime, Hollywood.
Dude's going to
Lakers
end up with 4 statues. He's going to Cleveland, Miami, LA. If he's the owner of the Vegas team, they'll put one there too. He's just getting statues everywhere he goes. Can we hear from Shams, Brent, on the updates here? Lakers health involving Austin Reeves and Luka. Obviously not playing game 2, but what is the update here from Shams?
The sense around the Lakers is that Austin Reeves is actually the one that's further along than Luka Doncic in their respective rehab processes. I am told Austin Reeves has started one-on-one on-court work. The next step for him is to continue to go through the progressions of 3-on-3, 5-on-5. Remember, early April here, he had a 4 to 6 week timetable. So theoretically, that puts him on track late in this series, potentially early in the next series. The Lakers are not expecting Luka Doncic to be back in this series. He is out indefinitely, but Austin Reeves making some progress on the court.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Especially because Reeves has kind of been the one talked about least, and now they're saying to themselves, maybe you can get him later in the series. What's going to be interesting with the Lakers, I know we got to go to break here, but they got 3 games where they just need to get one. The longer they extend this series, the more dangerous it is for the Rockets.
No doubt. Kobe Price on the Lakers coming up at 5:30 from the California Post. We never got to this earlier. I'm over AI in sports. Certainly on social media. I'll explain why on the other side. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. The Padres are in Denver getting ready to start a series tonight against the Rockies. It's going to be Randy Vasquez going for the Friars and Jimmy Herget going for the Rockies. First pitch is set for 5:40. In NFL news, Mike Tomlin has joined the NBC crew. The former Pittsburgh Steelers head coach is joining NBC's Sunday night pregame show Football Night in America as a studio analyst. And right now in NBA news, with about 4.5 minutes to go in the first half, the 76ers lead the Celtics 47-46, and about 10 to 15 minutes or so away from tip in Blazers Spurs. And we got Lakers Rockets game 2 right here on San Diego Sports 760 starting at 7:15. We'll have the tip a little bit after 7:30. Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
All right, final hour here. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. Kobe Price covers the Lakers for the California Post. He will join us coming up at 5:30. I do want to get to my opinions on AI in sports in a moment. But you have been first of all, at the end of every month, now that we've started Schaefer and Sliwa, I'm going to have to write a check to Alan for like $200. He's constantly providing me with food and beverage, which is phenomenal. It's spectacular.
No, but you're not taking anything till today. Today is like the official.
He's
yeah,
like,
you
I
know
got
what?
water.
I will take this.
Yeah,
I will take that.
I'm not driving.
Yeah,
well, I am driving, but you got sparkling water from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I went down to Trader Joe's. By the way, now listen, Trader Joe's, Sprouts, any of these local grocery stores. John, I feel like you and I are the perfect faces for some of these grocery stores.
Hey there at.
Just give out the email.
Hey there.
Okay.
At iHeartRadio.com.
All right. If you're a local business.
What did we ask for earlier that we wanted?
Earlier, it was the purified water.
If you're in the purified water business, hey there at iHeartRadio.com.
You don't even have to be in any of those businesses. You could just be a locally owned business that like John Schaefer, that like 760 AM, and you're looking for some great hosts that are eager to help promote your business. Give them that. What is it?
Hey there at iHeartRadio.com. Schaefer, Sliwa, both of us, one of us, all of us. Hey there at iHeartRadio.com.
That's the email address. All right. If you're a local business out here. Okay. So here's my only question I have.
About the sparkling water?
Yeah. So I went, listen, there's a lot of times you and I are doing a show. Today I was here pretty much all day. I'm not always here all day. But we get here around 2.
Yeah.
By 5 o'clock, I want to eat my arm. I'm starving, this, that, all that stuff. So today I'm like, I'm going to use the refrigerator. We got 2 refrigerators there. Let's put a couple of items in there. Here's the only thing that I don't know. We're going to find out. I've said this now. This is going to be probably the 3rd day. There's 2 types of people in life.
Right.
We've done this a couple of times.
We
did naps,
stuff in the fridge.
Yeah, all that stuff. I put I think a 6-pack, 8-pack, whatever it is.
12-pack.
A 12-pack of sparkling water in there. Is somebody who did not put the sparkling water in there, is somebody coming by in these next couple of days and helping themselves to my sparkling water that I didn't offer to them?
Now Brent has spent a lot of time here. He knows the food game in this building. What do you think, Brent? It doesn't have Alan's name on it.
Doesn't have it. But
I think you got to put your name on it.
Does it need to have my name on it? You didn't put the damn sparkling water in the fridge.
Right. But what about, the guy that's working here, it's 9:07 p.m. Well, it could be 9 p.m. Right? You're working, you're doing the Kogo shift. There's things happening, right? We're doing weather, we're doing traffic. You swing by the fridge, I'm a little hungry. We check out the scene. Oh, lime sparkling water. And you just reach in there.
It depends how long it's in there.
Wow.
If it's in there for like 2 weeks or more, people are going to think you forgot about it, and it's fair game. Because lots of people you'll see this, lots of people will get like a sandwich or something for lunch and they don't finish it and they'll put it in the fridge and then they will forget about it for a long time.
Well, that's different because that one's a clear cut. We're throwing it away now.
But I have a story. I don't know. Was Pete Fox still doing fill-ins when you were here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pete Fox sounds like somebody that went into that fridge.
Oh, correct. Okay. You know Pete Fox. Okay.
Pete.
Okay. Then you will. This story will mean even more that since you know Pete.
Right.
So Pete was doing fill-ins once when I was here, and I used to love those little Dunkin' Donuts like iced coffees that you can buy in the bottles.
Yep.
So I had like 2 of those. I'd buy like 2 or 3 of them before work, and I'd put them in the fridge. I went to go get my coffee, and it was gone. And Pete goes, "Oh, I thought those are community coffees because they were in the fridge." So I drank
They're not community.
Yeah,
coffees.
so he had to come back like the next day because like Hartman and them made him buy me like 4 of them. But yeah, he thought they were communal.
Okay, I
coffees.
haven't put anything in there in 8+ years.
Well, and I'm only going to put. I mean, anything I'm going to consume. But I think he's right about something. If it's in there for 2 weeks. But I'm just going to tell you from my perspective. I don't care if you have it in there for 2 years. I'm not grabbing somebody else's soda or something along those lines.
But I wouldn't put like, for example, like I wouldn't put like the highest quality like meats and cheeses. Like I wouldn't spend like $1,600.
I got Wagyu beef in there.
I wouldn't be putting it in there because I'd be very worried, dude. I'd be very worried. All right, so I saw something today. I go to X because X is what I mean. I have to be there to do this job, right? This is where we get a lot of the stuff that we talk about, obviously. And there's the story on the right hand side, like trending topics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the trending topics today is the following. It has to do with the Dodgers having an interest in Mason Miller, right? I'm like, well, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
And this is what it says. It says, Los Angeles Dodgers inquire about San Diego Padres closer Mason Miller after New York Mets closer Edwin Diaz elbow injury. I'm like, he's not on the Mets, by the way, anymore. And it says the Dodgers checked in with the Padres about acquiring closer Mason Miller following news that the Mets closer, had this elbow injury. This all stems from these fake accounts on X, as opposed to MLB on Fox. It'll be like MLB on Facts.
They have a lot. What's the one? There's like a famous one.
The NBA one.
Not Sports Center. It's like Brick Center.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Exactly.
I think that's the one. But
and there was this parody account that was like the Dodgers have checked in on Mason Miller.
My cousin screenshot it, text me. He's like,
is this
true?
Saying. I mean, people are going to, again, you see something online, sometimes you're going to want to believe that it's actually true. Obviously, in no world in hell are the Padres trading Mason Miller to the Dodgers. We went down a path then. Would the Padres and Dodgers even ever trade or entertain a trade? Not for Mason Miller, but just in general.
Yeah.
Would they trade with each other? There was a trade for Matt Beatty in 2022, a random outfielder between the Dodgers and the Padres. But are you tired of like I guess I would call it like the AI slop. Like it's all this stuff. It's like untrained AI. Like, why are we running? Why is this a trending topic on the right side of my X feed?
I think if you think I don't think it's that impactful yet.
Right.
But I'm telling you, like this stuff worries me.
Right?
Just because we're not going to know. Maybe right now we're still able to tell like, oh yeah, that's fake. Oh yeah, this is fake. Oh, that video is fake. Brother, in a year, how are we going to be able to tell? Like that's the thing that I know we're the typical, obviously a sports topic, everything else. But I'm talking about in general. Like there's some stuff I'm watching news wise. I'm like, I don't know if this is real. I might watch something on Twitter or Instagram or something like that. I don't know if they're real.
Oh, I mean,
and in a year,
point.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's it's interesting because remember, okay, you go back a couple of years, for example, just with the X platform, Twitter. Back in the day, you had these like checkmark journalists.
Yeah.
So we knew it was Jeff Passan, and the fake Jeff Passans didn't have the checkmark back then.
Then they got pay, right?
Now you just pay. So someone could have the name Jeff Passan, and then their actual handle could be Jeff Passan with 3 S's, and he tweets the Mets have traded or the Padres have traded, and we take it and we kind of run with it. So yeah, the point is, it's very easy to be quote unquote had, right? Like gotcha. Like it's so easy. It couldn't be easier.
I remember, I'm going to go back to what you said earlier. There was a time when I was in LA, and, obviously, I covered all the teams there, but predominantly the Lakers. But one time the Padres. And I kept saying, I'm like, no, you can't make a deal. Like I'm speaking from a Padre perspective. Like, no, you can't make a deal.
Can't do it.
And the guy that I was co-host has been in SoCal for a while. It's good for you to make a deal. And his something personal business decision. It makes sense. This is just that a good comp or not up for sale. One of the 4 bidders. This doesn't sit well. I think I would have the same feeling in a deal like that. I mean, unless obviously it's a great deal for the Padres, something like that. But you that's a tough one. Like I have a difficult time taking out personal and business.
Here's what I would say. If there was ever a big trade between the Padres and the Dodgers, this is what I would say.
They could have Xander. I don't mean that, Xander. I don't mean that.
If it was ever a big trade, I would tell you it's not a rivalry. Because there's never been a big trade between the Yankees and the Red Sox since Babe Ruth. I would assume. There's never been a big trade between the Cubs and the Cardinals. A big trade. Yes, there have been on the
small trades.
Moves.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't think the A's and Giants are, historically speaking, in the Bay having these massive
or Giants Dodgers, right? Like if you're talking about just from a rivalry perspective.
You know what I mean? Like that's how I see it. It's like if you actually did have the Mason Miller Shohei Ohtani deal, not happening. Be like, oh, I guess. Like, why would you do that?
Sure. Are the Lakers and the Celtics making a deal for Luka and Jason Tatum or something? Yeah, I'm just saying, right? Just picking Jaylen
And isn't
Brown,
that a principal one? Isn't that one you almost put your foot down and be like, you know what? It actually does benefit us. We're not doing it. Like it's out of spite. It's stupid, but that's humanistic. People do things out of spite. People make.
It's very humanistic.
And it's very humanistic.
But I could also understand the person making the arguments like, yeah, you're making this too personal. It's like, yeah, but sometimes in life, things are personal.
That's how it is. Yeah. That's how it is. So anyway, it's a long way of saying some of the AI stuff that is out there, dude, is a big problem. And secondly, I don't really want to see the Padres trade with the Dodgers. I have no problem with cash considerations, minor leaguer. I don't even think
something that's not significant.
I think nothing that's not significant. You're balancing some book somewhere. I'm fine with it.
Is it one-sided? I don't think they care probably as much as we would.
That would be my guess.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be.
I'm assume it's more one-sided.
That would be what they would tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're Big Brother. You know what I mean?
It's not even that. I think if we cash one in the last 5 years, it's different.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think it has more to do with that. Right. And I think that's all it has to do with. I think it has to do with Padres have been very, very competitive over the last 6 years.
Right.
Well, in those 6 years, you faced the Dodgers 3 times in the postseason. The year that you probably felt you had the best shot of making the most noise, you weren't able to. Like, again, these all go back to like personal experiences where you're like, yeah, we can't do business there.
It's an interesting conversation, though, is what it is. We haven't even run through the Padres lineup tonight. Game 1 against the Rockies. We'll do it on the other side. Then we'll switch gears back to the NBA postseason. Lakers playing tonight on 760, 7:15 pregame. Kobe Price from the California Post covers the Lakers, and he will join us coming up in about 16 minutes at 5:30 right here on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, tonight we have game 2 of the Lakers and the Rockets first round matchup. Can the Lakers go up 2-0? Or will Houston answer? Pregame begins at 7:15. Tip-off at 7:30 right here on your home for Lakers basketball in San Diego. San Diego Sports, 760.
All right, Schaefer and Sliwa. We've got Kobe Price, California Post. He covers the Lakers. Will join us coming up in about 10 or 12 minutes. The Padres lineup has been out for some time. They're opening this series in about 20 or 30 minutes at Coors Field in Denver. Ramon Laureano back at the top of the lineup for the Padres here tonight.
I think that's his spot.
Yeah, I do too.
Safe.
I agree with you. Just in general, Tatis in that 2-hole. Tatis, I think we said it yesterday. His lifetime numbers at Coors Field are spectacular. Over a 1,000 OPS, 8 home runs and 32 starts, something like that. So again, it's a spot where you're playing. We had Kyle Newman on earlier, right, from the Denver Post. He's like, "Hey, everyone's so thrilled. They're 9-14," and I'm thinking to myself,
brother,
they're 9-14.
I know.
They're 9-14.
I actually kind of felt a little bad but I get where he's coming from. He's like, have you been watching this?
Yeah,
team?
they lost like 120 games or whatever.
So he was saying, and they take 2 from the Dodgers. That's a big deal. Of course it is. I mean, honestly, it's a big deal for any team right now taking 2.
Yep.
But they came into that series against the Padres 6-6, and he said they kind of went back down to earth by losing 4 in a row. You're right. That there was a little bit of sympathy there. Like we talk about the Padres, we forget sometimes that there were some days where San Diego Padres were not going anywhere.
Yeah, I look at this series like this. Again, it's an end-all be-all series that's going to determine your season. Maybe not. But last year you got to the postseason on the strength of beating up on a team like Colorado.
Yeah.
You went 10-3 against them. Like 1/9 of your wins last year were against Colorado. You were 7 games over 500 against them last year. So you're 4-0 so far. Take 2 out of 3, everything's great. Head to Mexico City, you're 6-1 against the Rockies. Again, if you lose 2 out of 3, is the sky falling? Maybe not. But they're 9-14. You just swept them in a 4-game series. I think the Padres are fully capable of winning this series.
You go back to Tatis here real quick. And 250 batting average right now, 253.
Okay.
And you were just mentioning that, and by the way, our RBIs wise, not bad. 12 RBIs. Mm-hmm. It just already 11 walks on the season. So he leads the club with 11 walks. The biggest thing, and I don't think we're making too big of a deal about it. If Tatis had 2 home runs, the conversation wouldn't be there about the power. The problem is he has a goose egg.
Yep.
So unless he goes on let's put it this way. If there's a time when you've played 20 plus games and you don't have a home run and your name's Fernando Tatis, kind of nice to have a couple of games at Coors Field, a couple of games in Mexico City. Like this is your opportunity to do it. And it hasn't been that loud is because the Padres continue to win. But, if they lose 5 or 6 and Tatis isn't playing, well, like that conversation will get louder. Just it's been quiet now because they're winning.
It's interesting, too, because there's been, I would say, less attention on Machado, who's hitting 186. He's hit a couple home runs.
But you're right.
There's been less.
The Machado thing's been very quiet.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
It's been quiet. But again, I think you made the better overall point, which is you win 15 out of every 22 games. I don't really care individually about what they're doing because you're playing. If they go 162, that's actually a lower winning percentage than what they're playing. Then, like, however you get there is however you get there. The issue is, to your point, when you lose 5 or 6 and this offense is struggling, then you're going to have some hotter takes.
That's why there's two ways to look at it, and I'll give you both of them. And I'm more optimistic about where the Padres are sitting. There's one take that you can make is, hey, why aren't these guys? Why is it Machado being Machado? Why isn't Tatis being Tatis? The other side you could look at is, look, these guys haven't gotten going yet, and you got a great record. You got one of the best records in all Major League Baseball. You got other players that have picked you up, whether that's Ramon Laureano or that's Xander Bogaerts or that's, pick a couple of these guys that have a good start to their season. I'm more encouraged to the fact that those 2 guys have struggled, are not the players that they should be, that are really the face of the franchise, and you're still got the record that you do. That to me is more encouraging because eventually, you said this a couple times. I've heard a lot of people say this, obviously in San Diego. When the season is over, I kind of already have an idea what Manny Machado is going to be.
Yep.
He'll probably get around 28 to 30 home runs, hover under 100 RBIs, but somewhere around there. The Tatis one, that one, I still feel like there's a little bit of an evolution. I don't really know what to expect with Tatis as we move on.
He had an 80-game stretch last year where I think I have this right. He hit like 3 home runs. It just didn't end. It was like 3 months, and he had no power. And he has started this year.
Late September is where maybe mid-September he got going a little bit. Yeah.
And last April he was awesome. He hit like 7 home runs last April. So I don't know what to say, but again, to your point, it's not something maybe to obsess over because they're 15-7 overall. And we'll find things to obsess over the course of 162 games. And we do spend a lot of time on Tatis. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, as I always say.
I've seen Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani in Anaheim be the greatest players in baseball, and they weren't winning.
Yep.
So I don't need to see individual great performances. I just want to see collectively what the team is doing.
And we've reached that point too, by the way, like collectively as a franchise, they need to win.
Yes.
You can't do this in perpetuity, play 100 years of baseball and not win at the highest level. Now, to their credit, they have won at a good clip here. But to their discredit, they haven't gotten over humps. It's not like they're playing in World Series every 4th year and not winning the World Series. I haven't played in the World Series in nearly 30 years.
Yeah, 98.
28 years since they even played in the World Series. And correct me if I'm wrong, they've played in one championship series since.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 2022.
Yeah, Phillies.
Yeah, so it's not like they're knocking every year at that door. At some point, you just got to break through.
You know what's funny? I look at some of the other squads out. I think I mentioned to you, when I went to that game on Thursday night, it was Padres Mariners. It was the final game. There's a dude that was traveled from Philadelphia, and he's there for work. And him and I are talking a lot about the Padres Phillies series. And we're talking about how the Phillies have choked in. Listen, Phillies are. Go look at their squad and go look at their postseason results. Yeah. The Padres are not the only team that haven't delivered. The difference with the Phillies is they've obviously won World Series before. There is a history there that's different. So there's never kind of an apples to apples comp. But the Schwarbers, the Bryce Harpers, the Trey Turns, they've had some unbelievable teams, and they also haven't won the World Series.
True, which is true, but at least they played in one through the Padres.
Yeah.
They won one, you're going back 2008. It's just, you're right. The Padres are a unique franchise because there's not a lot of franchises to compare them to.
I don't think there is. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like Seattle's never played in the World Series.
They don't have to. You want to know why? Like I look at Seattle and instantly I'm like, who just won the Super Bowl?
Exactly right. All right, let's switch gears back to the NBA. You can hear the Lakers tonight on San Diego Sports 760. Pregame coverage beginning at 7:15. Kobe Price covers the Lakers for the California Post. He'll join us on the other side here on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. We are live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Padres are in Denver getting ready to start a series against the Rockies. It's going to be Randy Vasquez going against Jimmy Herget. First pitch is set for 5:40, about 10 minutes from now. In NFL news, Mike Tomlin has joined the crew at NBC. The former Steelers head coach is joining NBC's Sunday night pregame show Football Night in America as a studio analyst. And right now, updates in the NBA at the half in Boston. The Celtics trail the 76ers 62-54. And with about 2 minutes to go in the first quarter in San Antonio, the Trailblazers lead the Spurs 25-20. Coming up at 7:15, we got Lakers Rockets game 2. You can hear that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Once you dabble in Taco Bell's Luxe boxes, including the $5, $7, and $9 box with its triple-double crunch wrap, you might think dinner includes a chauffeur. It doesn't. However, it does include a drink. You choose your Luxe box at Taco Bell today for a limited time while supplies last. Specialty drinks excluded, tax extra.
All right, Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. You can hear the Lakers here tonight, 7:15. The pregame coverage will begin. Lakers Rockets game 2. Great to connect right now with Kobe Price. Covers the Lakers for the California Post and with us right now on San Diego Sports 760. So Kobe, we appreciate you joining us. What's the expectation here? Obviously, KD misses game 1. I know we're still 2 hours out. Is there a general expectation? What do you think? Will he play or not here tonight?
Well, first off, thanks for having me on. The expectation right now is that he's a true game time decision. Now, we will hear from Ime Udoka, the Rockets coach, in about 28 minutes, where the status will either be he is in, he's a game time decision, or he's out. But I would be surprised. I would be surprised if he didn't play today with the Rockets down, entering tonight down 1-0 in a pretty pivotal game 2. I know it is just game 2, but history favors teams who go up 2-0 in a best-of-7 series. So, for the Rockets, I would be more so surprised if Kevin Durant was not in the lineup for Houston tonight.
Kobe, how surprised were you with that game 1 performance from the Lakers? So I know we all kind of get the news that KD is not going to be able to go, so clearly a huge advantage for the Lakers, but there's some talent on the Rockets. Obviously, the Lakers missing Luka and missing AR. By the time the dust settled after game 1, were you surprised, or did you feel like, no, that was comped based on KD not being there?
It's a mixture of all of it, right? The Lakers played really well for the most part on both ends of the floor. They were organized offensively. They had a really strong start in terms of getting to the right axis and exploiting what Houston was willing to allow and not willing to allow. And defensively, look, of course, they've benefited from Houston's shot making not being at where it's typically at, but that was also on Houston not being as organized or not having the best shot selection or a variety of things that they didn't do well. So, not especially once KD was ruled out for game 1, wasn't too surprised at all. Not just about the result, but also how the game went too.
Kobe Price, California Post, with us right now on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760.
Kobe had a suit on Saturday, man.
Really?
He was suited, ready to go.
What were you wearing?
I'm suited and booted right now.
He's suited right now.
What were you wearing?
I honestly,
swim trunks.
I looked like I didn't belong next. So I started walking away from Kobe.
Let me ask you this. I saw a note today that LeBron with a 2-0 series lead or a 3-1 series lead, he's 32-0 in those series. So I guess the question would be, does tonight's winner determine the series? Lakers go up 2-0. They'll find a way. If it's 1-1 going to Houston, will Houston win the series?
If the Lakers win tonight, they're winning the series. Even if the Lakers lose tonight, it's not lost. Because then it's about winning a road game. And we just saw them win a pair of road games in Houston a little over a month ago. And they've been pretty good. They've been a pretty good road team this season as well. So to me, this is, again, it's game 2 of a best-of-7 series. But to me, this is I don't want to say it's a must-win game for Houston, but what's the closest you can get to must-win game? Should need to win game, something along those lines. Because, history just says whether it's LeBron or whether it's, just history generally, going down 2-0 is a rough spot to be at.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some desperation from the Rockets in tonight's game. I want to get your thoughts on this, and I think there's a pulse here. If you've watched Lakers basketball a ton since JJ Redick became the head coach, I don't think you can argue that JJ Redick is a damn good regular season coach. 50 wins in his first season, 53 wins this past season, and some ups and downs, some injuries, the big trade for Luka, everything else. What have you made of his first 2 years, and how critical is it to show whether the Lakers beat the Rockets or not? If they don't, I think it has more to do with injuries. We'll see what happens. But what do you make of JJ Redick in the league, and anybody that had doubts about whether he can coach in the league?
JJ's proved over the last 2 years, over the last 2 seasons, that he's not just a legitimate NBA head coach, but he's a pretty high level NBA head coach. I forget where he would have finished, where he did finish last year, and the Coach of the Year rankings or voting. I know he got votes. I just don't remember where he finished. But even this year, obviously he's not a finalist. He's not in the top 3, but to me, he deserves to be in the top 6. And I think he was somewhere in the top 8 last year. So you're talking about one of the, someone who's finished probably, I think, top 8 to top 6 and Coach of the Year voting the last couple seasons, more than likely. For someone who's in literally the first 2 years of just coaching an NBA period and becoming a head coach, like that's pretty high level. So, he's proven to me that, obviously there were a lot of doubts about what, would he be qualified or, all the talk before he got hired, but he's proven that he belongs as not just any head coach, but also specifically the Lakers head coach.
Kobe Price with the California Post with us right now. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. So we've seen some updates over the last, handful of hours on Austin Reeves and Luka moving forward. What do you see as the realistic timeline for both of those players?
Maybe for Austin toward the end of the series, whether you're talking, if it gets to there, maybe a game 5, 6, 7. That's all next week, right? Game 4 is on Sunday, and I think game 5 is on Wednesday. So I think we'll go like Wednesday, Friday, Sunday after game 4. So we're talking about a week from tomorrow, possibly. Whether it's Luka does seem to be a little bit further out. Doubt he would be available for the series, but you never know. Especially if he does get to game 7. You never know what could happen.
Cole, just looking around the rest of the NBA here for a quick second. What of these series so far has kind of intrigued you the most? Whether you want to stay in the Western Conference, the Eastern Conference, but you got Minnesota and Denver tied 1 apiece. You got Victor Wembanyama that played his first playoff game and was just excellent, great, wins unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. As you look around, Atlanta gets a nice win over the Knicks by 1 point at the Madison Square Garden. Is there a series that you're looking at that's most interesting to you in the first round?
I'll give you one from the West and one in the East. In the East, Detroit, Orlando, and in the West, Lakers, Rockets is pretty interesting. But outside of this, definitely Minnesota, Denver. If I had to pick a Western Conference series outside of this, Orlando, Detroit. The funny thing is, if this were obviously I think, and we can even go back preseason, these teams were. I think most people would have predicted Orlando to finish higher or right around Detroit in the standings. Now, obviously, Detroit finished number 1. Orlando, I think, was 7. No, they were 8th in the.
Yeah, 1 and 8. Yep.
Yeah, they were 1, and then they wound up, losing the playing game, but getting in, being 8. Like this is, but they probably view each other as closer than they actually are in the standings, right? It wasn't that long ago where, Orlando was the team, like kind of in Detroit's position. They didn't get the same level that Detroit's been at this year, but they've had the similar come up, right? Like around the same time, around the same period. So they actually, I'm sure Orlando's looking at Detroit like, we're not only on your level, but they probably look at them as like, we're better than you. And we were better than you not that long ago. We were better than you 2 years ago. And, injuries, what have you, and Detroit obviously progresses, but that's why that series is so interesting to me. And then, Minnesota, Denver, just the history between the two teams. And then between 2024, it just kind of writes its own story. So to me, that's why it's so fascinating.
Kobe Price, we're looking forward to tonight, game 2. Again, you can hear it right here on San Diego Sports 760 with pregame coverage beginning at 7:15. We appreciate you taking time for us this afternoon. Thanks so much.
Thank you, my friend.
Appreciate you.
All right, Kobe. Enjoy that suit. All right, Kobe Price from the California Post with us here on Schaefer and Sliwa. All right, so that's a big one.
Yeah.
You'd say.
Yeah.
That's a big one coming up. By the way, there's a developing story. Dennis Lin in The Athletic. Obviously, he's covered the Padres for a long time.
Yeah,
Listen
interesting.
to this, and we could touch on the other side as well. He writes that obviously this is very common that obviously the chairperson of a team will have other ownership with him. It's not like it's very rare for one person to own 100% of a franchise.
Similar
correct?
how the new owner is also part of Chelsea. Doesn't mean he owns the entire team.
Thing.
There's percentages.
The Seidler Trust owned 27% of the Padres.
Yeah.
Okay. And they were the largest shareholder of the Padres. It sounds like Jose Feliciano and his wife will own between 30 and 40%. But listen to the additional potential shareholders. Doesn't mean they will be potential shareholders per Dennis Lin. Saquon, obviously a long-standing relationship, by the way, with the Padres and other sports entities, including STFC.
Big player. Yep.
Big player. A group that includes Viore founder Joe Kudla. We talked about this, along with former Chargers Hall of Fame quarterback Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, that's possible. But listen to this line that I didn't read until right now, Alan. Some members and associates of the Seidler family will remain as minority owners of the franchise.
Okay.
The sources said Feliciano's private equity firm, Clear Lake Capital, is not expected to be a part of the deal. So it's his wealth, not his business's wealth. And some part of the Seidler family will, in fact, remain a part of the franchise potentially moving forward. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to have strong takes on some of this stuff from an ownership perspective. Unless you've had an owner for 5 years and clearly this owner doesn't have the best interest of the city, then we're going to have a strong take. If they're not investing the proper way, we're going to have a strong take. If they're excellent and they're Peter Seidler and whatever I need to do to win, we're going to give all love and praise. We don't know how this is going to map out over the course of the next few years, but the hope is, and I don't mind, I think if the Seidler family or there's some type of ownership stakes still involved, maybe it's a very small percentage, whatever it is, I don't have an issue with that. And Drew Brees, I don't have an issue with that. Okay, let me ask you a question. You said the Seidler thing you kind of like. What do you like about it? Because I wonder if what you think is the same thing that I think.
I'll tell you on the other side.
There you go.
You're on Schaefer and Sliwa.
You
like that.
Sneaky.
San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeartRadio app. right, final time here on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. So we're reacting to the news that Dennis Lynn is reporting the Seidler family could remain as part of the ownership structure once the sale goes through to Jesus Feliciano and his wife Kwanzaa Jones. And you asked me why I like that.
Yeah, you had a initial reaction was like, hey, I kind of like that. And I have one too. And I want to know if it's the same thing.
2 letters for you, or 2 words, but 2 letters. PR, and good PR. Because the Seidler name is a strong one. It has like brand affinity. Maybe not as much John, but the last name. And that's going to carry a lot of weight in San Diego. Having the Seidlers, Peter, of course, maybe the most beloved owner in the history of the city across all sports. Yeah, I just think if there's a tie there and a positive one, and it must be if the group would keep the Seidlers with them, I just think that's probably a win. You know, it's just a win heading into a new arrangement for the Padres organization.
You said 2 words. I thought you were going to say Peter Seidler. So
but public relations of his name.
I know what you're referring to when you say that, because that's where my head went. My head went was, and this could have nothing to do with new ownership. This could have to do with, hey, in order to close this deal, and if we choose you as one of the bidders at $3.9 billion, we're staying on at a percentage.
Right.
So they could be then dictating those terms. They were the ones selling, so they don't have to sell to that group, or they don't have to sell to this owner. I think the first thing that comes to my mind is I genuinely believe there's a responsibility. We talked about it with John Seidler. There's a responsibility of, okay, you don't want to run a baseball team. You don't want everybody saying, hey, you got to spend this and you got to do that. This is what your brother wanted. Do what okay. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. But sell it to the right owner.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep the Seidler family there, I do think of Peter Seidler. And I do think of continuing to try to get to the ultimate goal of what he was ultimately trying to do, which was win a World Series. So I'm with you that you're not washing your hands of the Seidler family. You're not taking it over and saying, well, I'm going to do things. Well, you're probably going to do that anyways, but there is going to be in the background there, it's like, that family and that specific person wanted to win a World Series. I for some reason, I agree with you that, I like that tie.
And just remember, especially like today's sports oftentimes have figureheads attached to teams, even as very small minority owners. Manny Machado with SDFC would come to mind locally.
Mm-hmm.
The reason Drew Brees would be a part of this group, it's not to say that he doesn't have wealth. I'm sure he does, or isn't a good businessman. He very well could be. But you're tying someone like Drew Brees to this because of the public relations aspect of it. Maybe he would speak on behalf of the club. Maybe he would be at events. Maybe he's headlining stories because Drew Brees is attached to the group. That's how sports now work. Saquon, a local, right? They've been here locally.
Sure.
I do think there are benefits. When SCFC sale went through, you had an Egyptian billionaire partnering with a local group in Saquon. And I do think that was probably beneficial from like a PR aspect for the organization.
You know, it's funny. I do think there is some good PR there. I do think at the end of the day,
it doesn't really matter.
No, I think it matters. I think there's a piece that matters. But if you have some local ties and you have some good public relations that comes with it, if you feel like your ownership, let's just say new ownership decided in the next 5 years they're slashing payroll and they're not in the business of trying to win a World Series. That could happen. I don't know what's going to happen.
They turn it over. They're rebuilding to some extent. Yeah.
But that PR also follows you. I'm going to give you Mark Cuban sold the franchise and you can get good PR. You can get bad PR. You could be somebody that sells a team and he still has a share. I think 25%, 26%. But now attached to him is bad public relations for the Dallas Mavericks. So there's a little bit of a risk in regards to that, but we'll take our chances. We don't know how it's going to pan out, but this is the situation that they're in.
I mean, at the end of the day, I still look at the fact that you had 4 bidders for this property, this franchise at such a high valuation. I gotta, maybe some of it is hopeful because nobody can predict the future, but I'm just using my brain to think about it. You chose among 4. You've got a seriously highly invested ownership group now with Jose Feliciano and his wife. I got to think they're going to continue on the path that we've seen. Now, nobody can guarantee. You've made this point. I completely agree. You can't guarantee championships. That is an impossibility. But you can guarantee being invested.
Competitive.
You can guarantee resources.
Wanting to win.
Exactly. So that's, I got to assume,
Mhm.
and is that a wrong thing to do in a city like San Diego that's had so many bad ownership groups historically? Maybe. But I'm going to be hopeful. And
what do you mean by that? Can you say that again?
I mean, you think about the history of San Diego, like Rockets to Houston, Clippers, the situation that played out with Sterling, Spanos with the Chargers. I mean, there's been some really rocky ownerships in the history of the city.
But isn't that why Peter Seidler stood out so much?
Yes. And no, that's what I'm saying. So I guess my point is I don't know enough about Jesus Feliciano to know that he's not on the wrong, like there's been good groups and there's been bad groups. How do I know he's going to be a good owner?
You don't know.
I don't, but I'm hopeful that out of 4 serious bidders and at this valuation, he and his wife aren't going to just run this thing into the ground because that just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I think there's also a business aspect. I don't think the only thing I don't like about, we had a beat writer for the Denver Post, Kyle Newman on a little bit earlier. There's certain destinations where a lot of fan bases would love to come.
Yeah.
Right. So San Diego is one of those destinations. The only thing that I would, again, this is just me being more fear-based than faith-based. The only thing that Petco Park is promoted as, it's an unbelievable park, number 1 ballpark in the country, all that stuff. But Petco's not Petco unless you're winning.
Right.
Because the last thing you want to do is being known for a park where, everybody's coming, we're selling out seats because everybody loves it, but it's 80% the opposing team. I don't think that's going to happen in San Diego. So going on that investment, in order for them to really reap the rewards of their investment, I do think you have to be competitive, which I think is a great pressure to have on new ownership.
It is a good pressure, and I think they will be. There's nothing in the immediate or the short term, like 2026 or 2027, for example. Beyond that, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But like it
Literally, who knows?
it doesn't scream to me like, oh, they're not going to be competitive this year. They're not going to be competitive next year. If anything, it kind of screams the opposite. Maybe this is the jolt necessary to take it one step further. Maybe.
I don't think that just comes down to finances. I really think that there's more to it than just finances.
Right.
You can be a very responsible organization and not necessarily, and be an organization that's trying to compete without just saying, I'll write any check. Go look at the Mets. Mets have lost how many in a row?
Gosh, it's a great point.
So it doesn't all come down to money. People shouldn't just look at it. They spent finances. They're not. They're trying to win. You can be competitive in other ways.
Great stuff today. Wow. Even a sneeze for good measure right before the end of the show.
Yeah.
On Schaefer and Sliwa.
Yes.
Want to do it again tomorrow?
Yeah, let's do it again tomorrow.
This wasn't the final time.
No, this wasn't the final time.
All right.
Good stuff, buddy.
If you missed anything today, you can go to sportssd.com or the iHeartRadio app or iTunes or TuneIn Radio or Spotify. Back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Full reaction to Padres Rockies game 1.
I got to bless you, Alan. Thanks.
And the NBA postseason. For Brent and Alan, I'm John. This is Schaefer and Sliwa on San Diego Sports 760. We've been live on the iHeartRadio app. Peace.